Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And I hope your morning didn't start as early as mine. Jesus, fuck. Hey, Camel, Ramen, Shiogarath, how you guys doing today, man? The gayest person on YouTube. How you doing? Did you get that title in a contest, or is that just self-proclaimed? I'm not judging either way. I'm wondering how that's determined. I'm not judging. Seriously, it's cool. Do your thing. Shrouded Angel. Um, I I miss sleep, you guys. I really do. But my gayest person says I'm contractually obligated. That is probably the best answer for that question. Well played, sir or madam. Demon Man, Trucking Bear, how you guys doing? Circus, Sherry D, how you doing, man? Onision takes the title. Ouch. Heretical Cabbage, is that how you say it? Yeah, I know I fucked that up. Heterical Cabbage. I don't know. I pronounce names so badly. Why would you do that to me? Lexi, how you doing? So here's what happened, right? I stayed up. I was up at 2 when I would normally do the show. And it was another one of those days my body went, nope, 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 go to bed. So I was like, okay, I'm finally going to sleep. And I crawled into bed. And I slept for about 2 hours. Took me about an hour to get to sleep. And then I woke up at 5. And I've been up stalking people online. Dax, I'm sorry. I saw you were streaming, but you're streaming on Twitch. That's different. Guys, go watch Dax on Twitch. Drop him the link, man. Poppy. So here's what I do. I stalk my followers on Twitter. I'm up so often in the, I'm using air quotes, middle of the night, that my Twitter feed slows down to a fucking crawl and I get bored because I like going through Twitter, and you guys know that's my playground. And so when I wake up at 5 and there's nothing going on, I'm like, hey, fuck, somebody post something. And they're like, all right, fuck it. Let's go look at one of my followers. And I'm not telling you who I was stalking today, but I'm glad I did because I actually had something posted I wanted to talk about. And I didn't have the link to. And it's like, fuck, I don't want to look that up. I don't want to look it up. God, I'm lazy. What the fuck is wrong with me? Like, clicking links is too much. Typing one word is gonna wear me right the fuck out. Sherry says it's my birthday and I'm hoping to hear Monkey sing happy birthday. I wish the guys were here so you could get the shabop shabop, but it's just me, Sherry. So happily I will sing for you. Happy birthday to you. Shabop shabop. Happy birthday to you. Shabop shabop. Happy birthday, dear Sherry. Shabop shabop. Happy birthday to you. Shabop shabop. Have a good day, Sherry. My birthday was just the other day. I had a great time. I hope you have one as well. I hope your birthday is at least as fun as mine was. Best yet, but not best ever. That's my wish for everybody. Massive Dynamic. How you guys doing? Remember, guys, I'll shout the names in the first 5 minutes of the show. After that, you have to pay for it. I'm not telling you to pay to have me shout your name. I'm telling you to be here in the first 5 minutes, damn it. Because that's when all the fun happens. You never know what gets said in that first 5 minutes. Hell, I don't even know what I've said so far. So yeah, I stalk my followers on Twitter. Sorry, guys. If you follow me on Twitter, there's a chance I've been all over your timeline and you have no idea. Because I tend not to like stuff that like might not have come across my feed naturally, because I don't want y'all to feel like I'm stalking you. I'm just telling you that now, so you're always worried, like, is Monkey watching me? Is he watching me? Because I could be. And I check out your pictures and your videos, And I look at your dogs and your cats, especially your cats. Your dogs I don't care about. But yeah, I stalk you guys. Uh, is that wrong? I I feel like my moral compass might be broken on this one. I need the guys here to tell me if that's wrong. Press 1 in chat if it's wrong for me to stalk you. Press 2 if it's okay. Maniac Man! Stalk me anytime, monkey face. Why, thank you, Poppy. Blunty! And I know you like Blondie. I'll do both. Monkey, thank God I was watching a Calvin Guerrera versus Onision video. Oh my goodness. I don't even know who the first one is. But Onision, look, oh, cool. Y'all like it when I stalk you. I sometimes watch Onision videos, and this is probably another one where I'm morally bankrupt. I really love the ones where he's real sad. It just makes us, it makes us like I'm Venom or something. It makes me happy. You don't stalk us, monkey. Sometimes you yell at us unexpectedly too. Do I yell? I yell when you guys yell at me. You guys started it. Oh, cool. Jack's here. Now I can have another conscience in the room as I talk. Jack, will you be my Jiminy Cricket tonight? Jack's not fully here yet. He'll tell us that in a minute. Ramen Noodles asks, what's with the numbers? Is it wrong for me to stalk you on Twitter? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Peter, I'm giving you that one, even though you were past the time, because Peter, you started all of this shit, and I'll give you just a little leeway tonight. But we are done with the yelling of the names, guys, because it's the first 5 minutes. Be here then, or it costs you. Jack, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm well. I need you for a couple of things. I need you to be my Jiminy Cricket here for just a minute.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
Well, I'm not so much in trouble as I fear my moral compass may be off.
So you're asking me?
I'm asking you. Yeah, I trust your judgments.
Oh boy, are you in trouble?
As I was telling the audience here, when I get bored on Twitter in the early morning hours when nobody's posting, sometimes I'll go stalk my audience. Is that wrong? Is that creepy?
I don't know. It depends. Are they hot?
Sometimes, yes. Yes, they are.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes there's no pictures of them at all. And those ones bother me because what I like most is to go in and look at their pictures and look at their videos and stuff, which is fine. Look, you guys can't look at pictures of me anyway, so I understand too. But I like it when I'm like, oh, I have a face to this name now. Look how pretty they are. A lot of them like to show pictures of their dogs and stuff, which is cool, like I said, but show cat pictures. Cats are better. Yeah. Now, the other question, Jack, is it wrong for me to enjoy videos of Onision where he seems really sad?
No, that guy's a douchebag.
Okay, so that's right. That's
yeah, you're good there.
All right, so Jesus would approve.
Yes, I'm sure baby Jesus would be smiling at that one.
Jesus would be like, fuck Onision. And I'm not insulting Christianity or anything there. I think even Jesus would be like, fuck that guy. Jesus, turn the other cheek. He'd be like, nah, fuck Onision. Turn the other cheek unless it's Onision, because fuck that guy. I'm pretty sure that's in Matthew.
Probably. That dude's creepy. Yeah, like RJ just said the same thing. He's a creep.
He is, and he's weird.
Yeah. He's the type of dude, if he lived near me, I would keep an eye on all the neighborhood children just for general safety purposes. Not that I think he's a child murderer, but I'm not saying it's not possible.
He has the potential.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a criminal head shape.
He looks like he's been in the electric chair. He's Shocker. Oh my God.
Yeah. You know who he reminds me of is Evil Ed from Fright Night.
I'm not familiar.
Oh man, the original Fright Night, great movie, but he reminds me of the friend that gets seduced to the dark side in that movie.
Lexi says, I will link you my cat's Twitter, R.I.P. Beanie. Oh, she passed? I'm so sorry. But yeah, link me now. I love kitty cats. Good morning, Nuts. How you doing, sweetheart?
Stargazer.
So yesterday or the day before, I'm not sure exactly which. I can look. I have it right here. Where'd it go? Dude, nope, that ain't it. This one. Yeah, this was, it was a couple of days ago now. No, it was yesterday. God damn. For some reason, I keep thinking this is the 28th. I don't know why. There's always been times where, you have that day where you feel like it's Monday, but it's actually Tuesday.
I have that all the time.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever done that with actual dates. I'd swear it's the 28th today. Like, why? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, welcome to middle age, buddy. It's going to get worse.
I mean, who the fuck feels like it's the 28th? Anyway, so it was yesterday. Cher had a little meltdown on Twitter. Little one.
Again?
Well, this one was interesting because she actually deleted it, and she's like been falling over herself to try to take it back. She kind of attacked Bernie Sanders a little bit.
Man, she's going to be called a Republican at this rate.
She was, and it pissed her off.
Oh, nice.
She was mad as fuck. So what she tweeted was, and deleted. Thankfully, one of the people I was stalking had this saved, or had this. Did they link it or like it? I can't remember. They liked somebody who had saved it.
Sorry, but I know why you thought it was the 28th.
Why?
Avengers comes out on the 28th.
It comes out on the 26th.
Does?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit. Shows what I know.
Yeah, we're all fucked up over here. Look, guys, if you want to know what day it is, don't ask us because we have no fucking idea. No. She said, does Bernie Sanders really believe people in prison who are murderers, rapists, child molesters, Boston bombers still deserve the right to vote? That's all she posted.
That's a very sensible thing to post.
It really is. And there's nothing wrong with having that opinion of thinking that's kind of crazy. But for Cher, who is a I do what the left tells me to do kind of person, she got the understanding that wasn't the right place to be. That she might has been on the wrong side of the Democratic line. And so, yeah, a lot of people were fucking with her, calling her Republican and stuff. Where's her follow-up tweet to that? I wish I could find that one, but I really don't care enough about Cher. I just thought it was funny as fuck. Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Sonny Bono was a Republican. The tree was a Clinton crony. Ouch. But yeah, she's catching some flack for deleting that, which, Cher, look, honey, it is perfectly okay to think that people in prison shouldn't be allowed to vote. Oh, that's so cute, kitty. That's so cute. I love when kitties sleep on their back. My cat used to sleep on his back all the time like he was a dog. So I called him a throw rug because that's what he looked like half the time. Oh, but he was such a sweetie. There's nothing wrong with having nuanced opinions. You don't have to agree with them on everything, Cher.
Oh yeah, or you get sent to re-education camp.
Well, Kamala Harris tweeted about this. Actually, we're going to talk about the title of the stream first today because let's get this boring shit out of the way. She had tweeted out that. Well, she didn't tweet out. First, she kind of was wishy-washy when she was asked about it. And then she finally gave an answer to the Wolf Blitzer. This is what she said. In the original question, her answer was, I think we should have that conversation. That's not an answer.
That's a politician answer.
That is such a non-answer. She should have been smacked for it. Don't worry. I'm not saying that a man should have smacked her. They should have let Wolf do it.
He decidedly, looks like he'd hit like a girl, though.
Yeah, decidedly not, man. But Wolf tweeted this out a little while later. Says, Senator Kamala Harris just clarified her position. Quote, do I think that people who commit murder, people who are terrorists, should be deprived of their rights? Yeah, I do. There has to be serious consequences for the most extreme types of crime.
Well, there goes her progressive cred.
Well, this is, it's not going to help her very much because she's already going to get a lot of shit for some of the ways she prosecuted the black people. She's going to catch shit for, my question to her on this is, Does she think the people she put in prison for life over weed should get to vote? 3 strikes, man. Weed put you in jail for life.
Yeah.
Is that person the same as an axe murderer? Should they get to vote? I'm just having that conversation, Kamala.
What if they beat someone to death with a big bag of weed?
Oh yeah, no. Oh,
there's some nuance for you.
Should be like, yeah, the weed can vote. My opinion on this, I'm not sure. I don't think people in prison should vote, and
I don't think so either.
I'm not sure why I think that, because I mean that it is taking somebody's rights away, but we don't let them own guns in prison.
Well, do you really want criminals deciding the fate of our judicial system? Because then nobody will be in jail.
Well, I'm with you on that. There's part of me, it's like, well, it's voting, and it's but it's like you're a fucking criminal. No, you don't get to vote. That's my final answer, Regis.
It's a consequence of making decisions that affect other members of society. If we can't trust you with this, why should we trust you with that?
Yeah, and I have no problem if a lifer in prison never gets to vote. Fuck them. When it comes to ex-criminals, that one is a little more for me. I mean, for me, it does depend on what they went to prison for. Seriously, if you went to prison because Kamala Harris was a cunt who wanted to get ahead in life and she threw the book at you over weed, I think you should get her vote when you get out. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that one because you paid your debt to society, technically, right?
Yeah, but again, I have a hard time sympathizing with kitty diddlers and murderers.
Yeah,
it's hard to feel sorry for them. So fuck them. I don't care.
That's the part where I have problems with, because there's also times, I mean, you have people who get an extremely lenient sentence for what they actually did.
Yes.
You know, we see this a lot with the female kitty diddlers we call teachers these days.
Yeah, no shit.
Where they get like time served for fucking their whole class. Their whole 3rd grade class, by the way. So that kind of bothers me about it. So I mean, it's not something I'm going to fight against. You know, I'm not going to be like, no, we need to let them vote. Like,
if you went to jail for like taxes or having some drugs on you, all right, I don't give a shit if they vote. But if you murdered someone or you're a rapist or something like that, yeah, fuck you. You're dead to me. I don't really give a shit.
Dragon Mage, thank you so much. No voting for prisoners. Cats are better than dogs. I agree with you on both of those. Like I said, for me, it's the after part. I mean, like you said, a tax evader. That to me, I mean, you technically stole from all of us. Fuck you.
Yeah, but at least nobody was killed.
Hopefully. Yeah, okay. Unless you're Al Capone.
Yeah, but if you can't get them on the other charges, it's kind of more bad intel than anything else.
And I get you, but that's what bothers me about it, is because I mean, especially with our justice system, just to get things through quicker, they're like, all right, we'll take the dog raping off the table and we'll just call it heavy petting. God, this is what comes out of my mind at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so like I said, I will never be somebody out there voting or yelling, let them vote, when we're talking about somebody who's been to prison. Well, I'm not talking county jail, you know. If you went to county jail because you didn't pay your parking tickets or something like that, yeah, you can still vote. You don't get a vote while you're in there.
Yeah, you get a DUI or something. Why would anyone take your vote away unless you killed somebody? Right, and that's vehicular manslaughter anyway. So, yeah. But see, that's a perfect example, Jack. There's a lot of times when there's a DUI kind of situation like that where somebody's killed, and they make it a lesser charge for them. Oh yeah, pleading it down. It's bullshit. And for me, it's like, no. So yeah. Anyway, I'd like it better if they would do a tier structure, like you can earn your right back. So if
I could see that.
if you got out and you haven't committed any crimes over the course of 5 years or whatever, you're not convicted of another felony or something, then you could vote.
I could get behind something. Again, for me, that part of it isn't. I'm not passionate about it. So
I'm really not either, but I don't really like the idea of giving rapists and murderers and terrorists, especially, the right to vote.
And for me, that we're talking after you get out, but Bernie's actually talking about letting convicted felons in prison vote. Like, Bernie, dude, I know you're old, but really?
Yeah, he's kind of. I think the word crackpot is fairly accurate.
He's insane.
Here.
I have no. He's at the very least senile. When he brushes his hair, he looks like somebody dressed him up to go to church before they take him back to the home.
Yeah.
And most of the time he doesn't look like that, though. His hair's all over the place. He looks like he was, yelling at the TV because
he looks like a hobo.
He really does. Furry,
sorry.
Real quick, Furry says his stream times often clash with me sleeping. If you're talking about me, it clashes with me sleeping too.
Sleeping is overrated. Just accept that. Stay awake as often as possible.
I miss sleep. But anyway,
I do too.
Crazy Bernie is he wants your neighborhood rapist to vote, man, and
that is not going to play well in the ads. If Trump even has a remotely good advisor or campaign manager, they are going to have a commercial out showing a bunch of like psychotic looking people that have been convicted of all sorts of heinous acts and say that Bernie wants this man to vote. And they're going to play that clip of him answering that question.
It's not even going to make it to Trump. Trump might tweet about this because I'm sure he will. But we've discussed this both on this show and Lords of the Night. The Democrats play dirty. They really do. And I'm not being mean here. In some ways, I actually admire it. Their operation research departments are like better than the CIA. They will dig up some shit you did in 3rd grade and ruin you with it. And I actually read a story yesterday about Pete Buttigieg. I don't know how you're supposed to say it.
I don't know.
Pete Buttigieg, that's what I'm calling it here. The Democrats, they had no opposition research on him. And
yeah, right.
No, seriously. He came out. Nobody expected a mayor of South Bend, Indiana, to run for president and have any kind of real chance. But Buttigieg guy, he is a money machine right now. People are throwing money at him hand over fist. We've seen some articles about, he's not gay enough, but that's been the extent of it. But they said in the last week or 2 weeks, something like that, the number of Freedom of Information Act requests about him have like skyrocketed. They are out there digging. They want to know what he's done because they have information on each other. They know old Biden likes to sniff on some people, and yeah. Kamala sucked a dick to get a job, but they don't have anything on Pete. So we might be seeing some dirt on him soon, which would be fun because I like the dirt part. Like, what did you do? How dirty of a motherfucker are you?
Oh, you know they're dirty.
I'm not buying the choir boy act. He kind of comes off as a little choir boy.
Yeah, he strikes me as somebody that's got a few skeletons.
Wait, he's gay. He doesn't come off as the altar boy he looks like.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? Is that a bad joke?
Nope. Nope. I was fine with it.
God damn it. There goes monetization.
I'm an enabler.
But yeah, so they're digging up stuff on him. The Democrats are going to use this against Bernie. They're going to use it to knock him off because it's like crazy man wants to let the Boston Bombers vote. That commercial writes itself right there.
Maybe this is payback for the guy that shot Steve Scalise.
Could be.
It's a little thank you. So I'm going to start that conspiracy theory.
It's that's his payment. You get to vote.
Yeah.
And we'll take care of you. So yeah, that's going on over there in the Democratic Party. Man,
what a mess.
Yeah, but it's fun. I can't wait for the debates now.
Oh man, it's gonna be such a glorious shit show.
Yeah, because they're actually going to have to take opinions against each other
at some point. They're going to try and out left each other, and it's going to be hilarious.
Well, they are, and we didn't see a whole lot of this in the last campaign because it was only. I know a couple other people ran against Hillary, but really, let's be honest, it was Bernie versus Hillary.
Yeah, I mean, how many people can still name the other candidates? I mean, Tim Kaine, only because he became the VP nod.
And there was Mallory Mac. I forget. There was somebody who started with an M.
Yeah, the Navy
guy. That's it. That's all I know. But what's going to happen in this one? There's such a big field, and there's such big names in there. Now, I know there's some of these names might not mean that much to you people out there who don't follow politics real closely. But there are very few names that. Is there a train over there?
Yeah, there's a train.
Cool. I miss living by a train, actually. Terry Diamandis, thank you. Let prisoners vote, but their votes count as much as you want women's to. Oh, Terry, why are you trying to get me in trouble this early in the show? I do that myself. You're actually going to have camps form this time, and early on, so you'll have these are big names in politics. It might not be big names in the family room, but you have like Kamala Harris. I mean, she's Hillary 2.0 in the party. You have, except she's actually done some. No, she pretty much rode a dick to power as well. Huh. Yeah, she is Hillary 2.0. You have somebody like Booker who had his whole Spartacus moment. He's well known with it. He is on news shows all the time and was even before he announced. The news loved Corey.
Yeah.
Klobuchar, Trebuchet, whatever the fuck her name is. She's just there for comic relief. But you're gonna have, and if I remember correctly, they only set because they said we're not having everybody on stage at the debates. We just can't, and especially now, I think they're up to 20 candidates.
Yeah. So
you have to have at least 1% of the polling in a certain group of polls in order to get on the stage. 1% isn't that much.
It's really not, but there were some people in the images I saw of the candidates. I had no idea who they were. I've never seen some of these people before. So they're going to have to really bust their ass to start getting their name out there. Because, I mean, I kind of follow politics, I would say slightly more than the average person. And if I don't know who you are, you're not famous enough.
Shiogarath tried to tell me how to say the name Klobuchar. I'm not even going to try. She's not worth learning to speak. The only reason to learn her name is to laugh at the articles about her being mean to her staff. And then one time she got really mad because they didn't bring her a fork for her salad, so she had to eat it with a comb. That is a great story.
Why didn't she just have an intern go get her a fork?
They were on a plane. They brought her a salad while she was on a plane, and somebody forgot to bring the fork with it, so she had to eat it with a comb.
Was she on a cargo plane? What kind of plane doesn't have some silverware on it?
I don't know. This one did not. And
you get on a private jet, there's a little box of silverware in the little kitchenette. Jesus.
These things happen, man. There was none, so she had to eat it with a comb.
And the lesson here is don't eat salads.
I love salads. You behave.
I like salad too, but that's the lesson. When on a plane, don't eat salads.
When on a plane,
with a comb.
Bring a fucking sandwich. What the hell are you doing?
Right? A bag of snacks, maybe.
Lexi says a comb, just stick your face in it. I would have ate it with my hands before I ate it with something that had been run through my hair repeatedly.
Well, was it specifically her comb, or
Yeah, it
was
was
it
her.
just a comb?
She pulled a comb out of her purse.
Oh, that's gross.
And then she yelled at her aide to go clean it when she was done. I'm just picturing this bitch stabbing a salad with her fork or with her comb.
It would have only been better if it had been a hair pick.
Oh
Then I
my
would have
God.
really left.
Yeah, that's the only reason to know her name. Julian Castro. I said this on Twitter the other day. He couldn't get elected in Cuba. Uh, he's the unelectable Castro. And it's just because he's never done anything important. And so many of these people are just going to be repeating the same thing that the major candidates are going to be repeating.
Yeah, if you can't distinguish yourself, you're going to fade next to somebody that's more popular. That's all there is to it.
Gabbard, she could make a name for herself, but she's too Republican to be elected a Democrat.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
She's got a lot of very progressive views, but she's too moderate on a lot of things that are very, very important to the Democrats.
That's exactly what I was going to say, almost word for word. That's absolutely true. And they can't have that. They cannot have a moderate, and there won't be a moderate win this. It's not going to happen.
No, the mainstream Democratic Party has no interest in moderates, and she's way too reasonable of a person. I don't like a lot of her views, but she's not the worst one in the group.
No, she's not. She has some view. Yeah, I'm with you. There's some of them like, ooh, what'd she say? Yeah, she's very moderate compared to say very moderate compared to say Bernie Sanders. It'll be interesting to watch. So I'm waiting. Those are coming up in June, the first debate. I'm wondering how many of these people are going to make it to the stage.
I would guess less than half.
I wouldn't be surprised to see half, say 10 of the 20 running right now, which would be interesting. And then after that, you're just going to see them start dropping off.
Oh, yeah, they're going to drop like flies, especially if they can't get in there.
Yes, and then the camps will form. Then you will have the Democrats start turning against each other. The way the Bernie bros and the Hillary bitches, is that what they were, the Hillary bitches?
As far as I'm concerned, yeah.
The Bernie bros and the Hillary bitches started fighting with each other, which was glorious. Fucking glorious. Gabbard and Yang are the only electable folks currently in the running. Yep. Neither of them have a chance.
Well, if Gabbard was the candidate, I think she could stand a good chance because she's got the background, ex-military, works in government for Hawaii, so she's fairly popular. She's got good ratings. She could probably beat Trump, I think, but the Democrats will never run her.
For me, it comes down to whether or not she could out Trump, and she can. She seems like a genuinely nice person.
Yeah, but she comes off as like a rational person. So the mainstream, you would get conservatives or Republicans voting for her just because they don't like Trump. So she'd probably get that crossover appeal. But she doesn't have the showmanship or insanity that Trump can bring to everything he does.
As for Andrew Yang, somebody asked me about him the other day on Twitter. His star is already starting to dim, even from the people who are, I'm on the Yang gang. This isn't like how Trump. I'd heard him compared to the 2020 Trump. Like, no, Trump is the 2020 Trump.
Yeah. There's no comparison on the left for him.
Yeah, and he had a little moment in the sun there when he came out with his universal basic income, and people were like, yes, I love free money. And now he's just kind of, nobody talks about him anymore.
Well, I think that's going to happen to a lot of these guys. They're going to be dropping off very quickly once it starts happening.
Well, and it already has, and we've seen with Elizabeth Warren, man, her numbers have. I think she was the first candidate to formally announce. She was definitely the first media candidate to formally announce, and they loved her for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. But she's an idiot.
Well, now she's on her I will give you everything for free tour.
Yeah, that's that'll appeal to a certain class of welfare moms, but I don't think that's a mainstream accepted philosophy because it's just not realistic.
It's not. I mean,
you could promise certain free things, but
excuse me, sorry, a little wheezy here this morning. You don't have to be George. That's a shit joke.
Moving on up.
We're moving on up, yeah.
George Jefferson's strut.
To the east side. I forgot what it's talking about.
Making fun of Yang.
Oh yeah, well no, we were going to Elizabeth Warren promising everything.
Oh yeah, she's dumb.
She's look, sweetheart, I know you're going for the college crowd because young people really are. The Democrats target young people, and there's a reason for it. It's because young people are stupid. And I'm not being mean. Yeah. That is just, I mean, that's science. Your brain doesn't fully function until you're 25, 26. You have no fucking life experience, especially in this day and age where you can be on mommy and daddy's insurance till you're 26.
Oh, it's horrifying how little life experience a lot of these kids have. No offense, audience. You guys are the exception.
Well, no, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying it. It's just true. And now somebody go, look, I've been working since I was 15. My mom kicked me out. Okay, yeah, you're the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
Most of them they're dumb and easily swayed. They don't have any life. They've never paid a mortgage payment or a rent payment. They've never had to decide, do I want to pay the light bill or the phone bill this month? So yeah, the Democrats target them because a lot of Democrat ideas sound really good on paper. Really good on paper. Look, we're going to take care of all the loans. And it's like, Now, in actuality, how are we going to pay for that? Like, And that's where the grown-ups have to come in and go, no. Sorry, no. When I've said raise the voting age to 30, I'm not kidding. I really think it should be. But
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. If it stays at 21, that's fine. Have you seen the push to actually lower it to 16?
Yep. I saw Kamala Harris answering that.
Let's move it to 16 because we need even dumber people voting.
Well, and every politician would be for it because they know young people are malleable and dumb.
I just can't wait to see the first Super Smash Brothers ad campaign.
It would turn into idiocracy so fast.
Look, kids, I play Super Smash Brothers just like you. Vote for me. Yeah.
I am hip with the kids. What is up, fellow children?
Indeed, right? Oh my God. Speaking of that, who are those people? I got to bring it up on Twitter. Not Twitter, the YouTubes, because I watch their videos. It's been a while since I've seen one. Young people are idealistic, says Dragon Mage. Thank you so much for the donation there. Yeah, well, some of them are. So you definitely do have that part of it. But some of them are also just ignorant. Is probably a better word than dumb. They're ignorant. They don't have experience. They don't even have an education anymore, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to do some underwater basket weaving, maybe, but...
Well, somebody shared a picture from a textbook where they describe the Second Amendment. And instead of just putting the fucking words there, they say the Second Amendment tells you that you can have some gun rights. Like, that ain't what it says.
That ain't what it says at all.
Not even close to what it says. Okay, where's my history? Who was I watching? These guys.
Well, what even offends me more is that there's no encouragement for kids to do their own research. They're not taught how to critically think and look up information. They're just told to absorb and regurgitate the information that they're given.
The channel I was thinking of was Internet Today. They do weekly weird news, is what I used to watch all the time. I forget their names. I want to say it's Ricky and Elliot. Let me see if I can pull up a screenshot of the two of them.
It's like a weird gay sitcom.
Well, hang on. Okay, these are the guys. Let me put it on the screen. Now, I used to watch these guys all the time. The one on the left kind of annoys me on Twitter because he is a dyed-in-the-wool liberal man.
Oh, he looks like one.
But I used to watch these guys
with soy.
He kind of is on Twitter. He is on these shows. He actually is, pretty interesting. Sabian says, Pokemon, let's go to the polls. Yeah, remember? Right? Fucking Hillary. But anyway, it's been like a year since I've watched these guys, right? And as I watch them, they still make me laugh, and their show is still as interesting as it ever was. But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just thinking of that I'm hip with the kids thing, because they've aged like 10 years in a single year. Like, wow.
Well, they're what, like 30?
Easily. But yeah, I know that's completely off topic, but that I'm watching, especially the guy on the right. I mean, how he has his hair and everything. It's almost like if he just turned his hat backwards, he looks just like Steve Buscemi from that clip. RJ says Ricky and Elliot annoy me. Is that their names? I thought it was, but it's been a while since I watched regularly.
If you're over 30 and you still go by Ricky, and people that aren't your family say that to you, or really close friends, you have a problem.
Look, growing up, I was called Frankie, and I hated it. So once I got to the age where I could tell people what to call me, it's like, don't do that. My name is Frank. Thank you very much. And then I get birthday cards from this one aunt every year that still say Frankie, and she's the only one allowed to do it, and it's only because she's the nicest woman I've ever met. She's the one who sends birthday cards, Christmas cards, Easter cards, Thanksgiving cards every year to everyone. She's like old school like that, man. It's like, okay, you can call me Frankie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everyone else can fuck off.
Yeah, grow old gracefully, you guys. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to be hip with the kids, because it's just not going to happen. At some point, you're going to have responsibilities, and you don't have time to focus on all the trivial bullshit that young people do.
Well, in these guys are doing an internet show, so you can still do it, but still, stop trying to be young. It makes you look sad.
It does. Nobody wants you to be Philip DeFranco or Onision. Be an adult.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with putting on a nice shirt. Real quick, thank you, Tyrai, over on the Streamlabs. Them trying to give free college to all belittles people who join the military for college reimbursement or business incentives that will help pay for the cost. There was a great question on Twitter the other day. They said, will I get reimbursed for paying it all myself? No.
No, they're not going to do anything.
They are not going to they're not going to incentivize being responsible.
Oh, hell no.
It just doesn't happen that way. Let's get back to the woman I was stalking today. The things I found on her Twitter. That sounds like the woman I was stalking today. The person I was stalking on Twitter, it happened to be a woman today. By the way, yes, I am just as likely to stalk you as a man as I am a woman, unless the woman is, I can see she's pretty in the picture, and then, yeah, she always wins. Sorry. So she had retweeted this woman, Jamil. Terry Diamandis, thank you. If you ever go to Hollywood, I'll have to call you Frankie. I see what you did there. Frankie goes to Hollywood. Relax.
That's kind of fair. Just do it.
So on my birthday, Jamila, I don't know how you say it. She said, being a woman and leaving your house feels like rolling the dice on your life. Sometimes it's even scary being in your house. It's exhausting, draining, tedious to always feel like a target. Who the fuck's in your house, woman?
Right? Is her house haunted? Is there
I don't know.
In the attic?
But I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Every time I leave my house, it's like rolling the dice on your life. For the record, men are far more likely to be attacked in public than women are. That's fact.
Yeah. And you know why that is because somebody will come help you if you're a woman.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a dude getting your ass kicked, they're like, he probably had it coming.
Get the camera out. Get the camera out. I'm going to put this on YouTube.
If you're super lucky, they'll call the cops.
22,500 people liked this tweet.
22,500 idiots out there.
22,500 people. It's scary to be a woman in public. Are you What?
I often wonder how these people function day to day. Like, what must their life be like? Because this is how like people with like the gang stalking mentality think. It's borderline mental illness.
Well, I want to read a couple other things from Jamila. I don't know how you fucking say it. Jameela. Jamila. First of all, her bio says Instagram, of course, because she has an Instagram, and feminist in progress. She, her.
Of course, I knew it. I was waiting for the pronouns. Feminist in progress. Fuck you, weirdo.
She's followed by Ryan Reynolds. Jamila. Okay. I don't care. Crazy bitch. That's what she is today. This is her pinned tweet. It's never too late to check yourself and right your wrongs. I used to be a slut, shamey, judgmental, and my feminine. You can't. Okay, you can't switch from adjectives to. Okay. Anyway, I used to be a slut, shamey, judgmental, and my feminism wasn't intersectional enough. Nobody is born perfectly woke. Listen, read, learn, grow, change, and make room for everyone. We aren't free till all of us are free.
What does that mean?
I don't really know. Apparently, where she lives, there's slaves in her house. That's why, maybe that's why she doesn't feel safe in her own home.
Oh, yeah, that's a possibility.
Seriously, who the fuck are you living with? I don't feel safe at home. Here's a great picture. Apparently she's an actress or something, or I don't know what the fuck. I don't know who she is. I don't understand the picture.
I think she's getting ready to pounce on the right, and on the left, it looks like she doesn't understand how to sit down on a motorcycle.
The caption on this one says Instagram versus real life.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what? Which is which here, honey? You got to help me out because both of those are staged as fuck.
Okay, first of all, those gold shoes do not go with that orange jumpsuit.
They really don't. And why
is hideous?
Is she one of those street poopers? Because that's the only thing that's.
Yeah, she does look like a homeless person taking a shit. Or maybe if you're wandering the streets of Phuket and you can't get to one of those sketchy public toilets,
yes,
poop on the street or something. Fine, all right, but not in Los Angeles where this clearly is.
Oh, a very dead horse says I think she was in Deadpool 2. That would explain why Ryan Reynolds follows her.
Oh yeah. Well, she's not hideous.
No, she's not, but she's crazy.
Yeah, well, she's got a vagina, so.
Lexi says, by the way, Ranting Monkey, do you follow Tatiana McGrath on Twitter? I don't, but like once a week, somebody tags me in something Tatiana says. By the way, Tatiana's a guy. It is a Poe account. But somebody's like, look what they said. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's a Poe. Relax. Unfortunately, it's a very good Poe and gets a lot of people.
Yeah, that dude is hilarious.
He is. He really is. But no, I don't actively follow. I don't think. Where's the other one? I got told I was too old and fat and ethnic to give up my career in the UK and move to America at 29. Was told I would just disappear. Went anyway and did okay. Trying is winning. Everything else on top of that is cake.
Trying is the first step to failure. According
That's true too.
So never try. And that almost sounded like a meritocracy thing, but I'm sure she didn't mean that.
Yeah, doesn't that, sweetheart, that doesn't really go with the feminist mantra of men keep you down if you tried and lost. She also did Happy Easter, eat some fucking chocolate, enjoy yourself, you fucking star. And that's a picture she put up there. And with it, she said, no weighing yourself in the morning ever again. Let a bitch, hashtag let a bitch live.
You can get fat doing that.
You can look, eat some chocolate. Just, everything in moderation. Polly, good morning, sir.
Morning, gentlemen.
What's up, Polly?
Oh, same old.
We're dragging a feminist right now.
Really?
Yeah, because it's fun. Miss Jamil, who is afraid of being a woman. She has fear when she goes out of her house and sometimes in her house. All right.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she lives.
Sounds like an anxiety condition more than
anything.
No, she might live in a crack house. So there's a lot of like hobos with glass shards trying to stab her all the time.
Look, go see a psychologist or psychiatrist. Get some Xanax, bitch. There's something you should not feel scared all the time. But sorry guys, that's what feminism does to women.
Oh yeah, it drives them nuts.
It tells them that they are victims all the time and to be very, very careful.
Next thing you know, they got purple hair and they're fat.
Yes. And they're like, why won't anybody? The men just don't like me because of patriarchy. Like, yeah, that's what it was.
Patriarchy involves hostess, apparently.
Is hostess run by men? I bet it is.
Probably. It's Twinkie the Kid is the sort of patriarchy.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so we got the voting stuff out of the way. Oh, Polly, while you're here, how do you feel about felons voting both in and out of prison? Start with in prison.
In prison, no.
What about once they get out?
It completely depends on what they did. If you want to talk about reform of felons voting, yeah, I'm totally willing to entertain the conversation and so forth, but it completely depends on what they did.
I think he was listening to us earlier, Jack, and stole our answers.
Was that actually your answer?
Very, very close to what we said.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a kitty diddler, you never get to vote again. I don't care. You
really? That was the first thing you thought of?
That's the first one I come to. Yeah, because they're far more likely to get out of prison than a murderer,
and they're way more likely to reoffend.
Yeah. So to me, that's the first thing I go to, is because that's, to me, the most likely to happen. Right. Plus, those fuckers, fuck them right in their ass with something big and sharp.
The first thing I thought of was immediately people convicted of terrorism or harbor or material support to terrorism or treason in one way or another.
That seems to be what most people online went to, because this came up because of Bernie Sanders, and then Cher. She was like, really? Cher made a tweet where she's like, Bernie, we really shouldn't be doing that. And then she took it down because she realized that wasn't the democratically correct thing to do.
Toe the party line, apparently.
Yeah. Got it. My bad. I had a thought of my own, which for Cher had to be a weird experience. She probably passed out.
She thought it was an LSD flashback.
But yeah, most people seem to go straight to the terrorist thing, where I'm like, no, don't let them kitty diddlers vote. Fuck them.
Well, surprisingly, people who commit, not convicted under the federal law of treason, but things like the Espionage Act in general, do not face life imprisonment. They will get 5, 10, 15 years for it. And it's like, no, you conspired against your country. There's no reason to exile you to a small island somewhere, or, whatever the fuck. You served the time that was allotted to you. But yeah, I would argue very clearly that you've lost a number of rights through due process.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's that doesn't strike me as a bad call at all.
Hang on. Thank you for the Streamlabs donation, Tyrai. Polly, have you gotten the Streamlabs yet?
The process is ongoing. I appreciate the concern and the waiting with bated breath that some people seem to. It's quite a compliment.
I appreciate
the donation. Hopefully Polly will put that off for a few more weeks.
It is. See, I have the best audience. They are chomping at the bit to give you money, Polly. That's kind of cool, really. They're like, I want to support this man financially, and I wish he would let me.
See, it's supposed to be the band's thing, right? I'm supposed to come back and go, no, motherfucker, but I can't argue against that because it's like, yeah.
Well, no, you argue against that. This is not a communist stream.
We're talking about the audience. We always have to be nice to them because they are. Look, I know I say this, and some people might think I'm best audience on YouTube, undoubtedly.
I find it awesome when other people come on your stream and tell you how great your audience is.
I know, right? It's true, though. I mean, they mostly behave themselves. If somebody comes in and is ass, they are all over that shit. The mods, man, my mods are awesome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Poppy's not a mod anymore because her boobs made her quit. She what's the word?
She timed out Circus Zero like 3 times.
She resignated due to her boobs.
I don't understand why her boobs hate Circus Zero so much, though.
I know, right? Like, why specifically him?
Yeah.
What did Circus ever do to Polly's boob or to Poppy's boobs?
I don't know.
Or Polly's boobs, for that matter.
It wasn't nice. Speaking of boobs, I have to share a picture with you. Beyonce tweeted this out, and somehow that ended up in my feed. But she said, I never really thought about what boobs look like on the inside or something like that. This is apparently what the inside of women's titties look like.
Right.
That's scary.
Well, it's the glandular tissue on its own without any of the surrounding fat or what? Yeah.
Look like flowers.
No, that's wrong. Chicago Mike, thank you. I want to support Monkey. Here's money. Oh, and Monkey. Chicago Mike. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. No, there's something about this that just says zombie titties to me. Maybe I played too many zombie games.
No, that's Last of Us titties.
That's this really haunted me.
Do you say you love being a shitlord on Twitter?
I've never said that.
Well, not in so many words, but I mean,
that might be how you describe it, and I would not disagree, but I've never said that.
No, all right.
I enjoy being a shithead on Twitter. How about that?
You enjoy? Yeah, okay, fine. Did you tweet back at Beyonce a picture of a couple of silicone implants? Did you?
I did not. I generally don't tweet to dudes I don't know.
You generally don't tweet to dudes you don't know.
You should have gotten a picture of a visible penis, the same type of thing here, and tweeted that back to her and be like, is this what you expected?
Ex-Boba Hotep, thank you. And now we will all forget about that image and go back to loving boobs. Yes, that is not how boobs should look. That should never happen again.
Why did you show it then?
I have this rule, Polly. If I have to see something disturbing or hear a disturbing story, somebody else has to as well.
Shared misery and such.
Yes,
okay.
Misery loves company.
And Lady Monkey hits him, so
it's true. Anyhow, yeah, that I was like, why are you showing me this? I don't need to see that. Show me, look, if you want to show me titties, show me good titties. Show me the kind of titties that our audience shows us, because that's nice titties. I don't want to see mean titties from the inside. What the?
Yeah, hopefully I'll never see it that way. You know, I don't want to walk in a room and see that. That'd be horrifying.
Chris says, "Skinless boobs are fiction. Don't change my mind." Indeed. There was actually an argument yesterday about whether or not beards can be feminine.
I've seen pretty hairy chicks, so
now,
yeah.
I made the joke that I've seen feminine beards on hipsters, and I stand by that. That beard that Jack Dorsey wears, that's a pretty gay beard. However, this is what started my interest in the conversation. You are literally saying that beards can't be feminine. You're basing validity on how well people conform to cis expectations, aka passing. If we're being serious, all jokes aside, no, you cannot have a feminine fucking beard. You can have a beard that looks like you haven't gone through puberty yet, which is what the sadly, I'm sorry, I've never seen a trans man with a beard that I didn't think, oh, if only puberty hit. It's like, oh, look, he's got my first beard kit.
Where are you reading this from? This was on Twitter?
This was on Twitter as a Twitter argument. Can women grow beards? Yeah, but they usually don't grow the beard a man does. It's like one long hair that'll come right out of the center of their neck. or just a little patch on their thing. There's been a push recently for women who do grow beards to stop shaving and stuff.
Where is this push?
You haven't seen that? Oh my God.
No pictures.
Don't look it up, Holly. Don't do it.
Good God.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, we talked about it on Lords of the Night a couple of months ago, maybe. I don't think this is the right thing. Nope, that's shaving your face. Fuck, I don't know. I can't find it. I don't remember what the title was. Yeah, but there's an idea for women who grow beards to stop shaving it and just accept it and be pretty that way.
Huh.
You're silent.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say that won't get me.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say back to something like that? It's a bunch of freaks and weirdos out there. Shocker, God damn.
Yeah, I mean, we've had bearded ladies since forever.
Okay, you know what? The bearded lady, right? At the circus sideshow. Why at the circus sideshow? Well, because they've also got the dog boy and the invisible man and all sorts of other freaks of fucking nature. It's a freak of fucking nature. Fuck.
Holly, freak is such a mean word.
For the record, it's not just shaving their beards / mustaches. It's also if they have a unibrow.
Yeah, if you have a unibrow, fix that shit. Okay, nobody wants to look at your weird unibrow.
Well, see, Far just said bring back the freak shows. Yeah, but that's not what they're trying to do, Far. They're trying to normalize the freak shows. So it's just the show. I don't know.
Yeah, they brought them back. It's called Twitter.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, there's been a little push to let women have beards, which is look, ladies, all bullshit aside. If you have natural facial hair and you don't want to shave it, that's you. Do your thing. I don't care. But I'm gonna look at you funny in public. I'll be like, that bitch got a beard. And then I won't think about you. I might tell my friends, and then I'll not think about you again for a long time. It's okay. You do you. Same with the unibrow. I'm with you, Jack. Fix it. But if you don't, I'll be like, look, Bert. And then it'll leave my mind for the rest of my life. But yeah, that was a thing. I'm afraid to get into this topic. You know how I piss off my audience from time to time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This one has the ability to do that.
Mm.
Do you guys know what the fuck is her name? Oh God, Morgan. Morgan,
Stanley?
what is? No. On Twitter, she's Morgan is Wizard. Is that her name?
Oh, MJ, yeah.
Yeah, MJ. Do you follow her?
Yeah.
I love MJ. She's funny as fuck.
Yeah, she's kind of hot too.
It depends on which way she's facing the camera. I actually saw a picture of her where it's her and three friends or two friends, and it made me think. Anytime I see a picture of more than two women, I try to figure out which one they all think is the ugly one.
Yeah,
because
taking the picture usually.
Yeah, so you take the picture.
Here, fatty.
They're women, so they do that to each other.
Oh, of course they do.
But anyway, she can be very pretty, and she can be just okay. She's not ugly by any means. And of course, Jack likes her because it looks like she hasn't had a hamburger since she was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not being mean. If you guys want to follow Morgan, I'll throw that in there for you. But she's funny as fuck, and she got into an argument, a weird one, because the argument actually started in February but broke out yesterday or 2 days ago now. In February, she said, anytime I meet an astrology girl, I tell them the wrong zodiac signs so I can laugh as they tell me with my actions that's exactly what they thought I would be.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, it's funny. But a whole bunch of like real life people who base their whole life on astrology found it yesterday and lost their shit. I mean, what was the one? I hope he calls you back, girl. Like, wait, because she made fun of you. You think she can't get a man? Did you look at her? Again, I don't think she's like gorgeous, but she offered to suck my dick. I'd let her.
Yeah, that chick, she's not supermodel hot, but she's definitely attainable. Like, she's definitely fuckable.
And just look at her mentions, man. This girl gets, I love when she drags guys who DM her. Oh, Morgan's funny. Morgan is proof that some women can be funny. Yeah. I'm not quite convinced she's a girl because of that.
Yeah, it's really rare for women to actually be like hilarious. No offense, ladies.
No offense, women. A lot of you are women funny. How about that? We call it women funny.
Wow. It's like when they vote. You can tell a joke. Sometimes it counts. Most of the time it doesn't.
Why the fuck do I do this show? They're women funny. But anyway, one of the replies to it, I can't read it to you directly anymore because I'm blocked after one tweet. The woman said, most famous astrologers are men because they're trying to make this about patriarchy. If somebody actually told her making fun of astrology reeks of patriarchy, and they're somebody else answered that most astrologers are men, just proving that men are in control of everything or something like that. And I simply pointed out, no, I mean, most men most astrologers may be men, but most of the people who follow it are women. That is just fact.
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It is. Dad, wait a minute. Let me offend before you stop me.
Oh, hold on. It is not indicative of dads to fucking ask you to back up what you're saying. That's just a reasonable person's position.
No, it actually is. Most followers are the people who buy the books and stuff. Yeah, they're women. This is a women's market.
Okay.
And it's not mean, but it's true. And I simply pointed out that just proves that men are very good at manipulating women, especially those with lowest self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. And
she blocked me for that. Like, that's what.
Get a little close to home on that one.
I'm like, damn, bitch. Yeah, it's like the self-help books, man. Most of them are written by dudes for women because dudes know how to manipulate women. I'm not being mean.
You think that astrology books are written to be intentionally manipulative?
I think that might be part of it. I'm just saying, I don't believe for a second that most of the things that are written about astrology, that there's actually somebody there with a star chart, spending his whole day figuring out everybody's birth date thing. I think it's like, today you're going to have medium luck. Tomorrow to be good luck because Venus is titless in Mars.
Mercury is always in retrograde.
Indeed. Look, if you enjoy astrology, I don't care. I actually like astrology. I don't believe in it, but I love it. To me, it's one of those conspiracy theory kind of things. I will sit there and read it for hours and hours and hours. And then when I start believing, like, okay, I got to stop. Got to step back because it's making too much sense to me.
Astrology is numerology for the lazy.
You know, the numerology is another one I love because you can make so many conspiracies out of it.
Yeah, you can connect anything with numbers. It's there's actually a name for it in psychology. You get obsessed with numbers and find patterns in seeing the same number somewhere, and it's usually just you just happen to notice the number that many times. But people find meaning in it, and they find synchronicity there, and it gets really crazy.
I was going through an astrology website one time, and well, it was on one of my astrology digs, and I found this one, and the description of me that they gave was like way too close. And I read my wife's, and it wasn't close at all. But mine, it was like they'd taken my life and wrote it down. I was like, that is freaky. That's a
Have you ever-
good guess.
If that kind of stuff freaks you out, not to get too far off topic, but have you ever done a full actual Myers-Briggs exam?
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
the INDB thing.
Well, no, that's an online movie service, but I get your point.
No, I'm right. It was INJ, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the company I used to work for, they actually they're very big on helping you get ahead and stuff. And the Myers-Briggs thing, I know people drag that. There is some validity to it. There's no way they get it that right for so many people.
Do you know how they get it that right?
What's that?
Do you know how they get it that right?
If you tell me they're purposefully vague, I'm going to kick you in the nuts.
No. Well, I mean, they're only as vague as they need to be. The way that you do it is there's not a secret to it, and they're not trying to. It's a reverse methodology as opposed to coming up with categories that people might fit into and then adjusting them accordingly. They didn't do that. They just came up with specific questions, asked everybody, then categorized according to the answers when general statistical trends were identified. So the reason why you seem similar to other people is because you're similar to other people.
You know what? No, and I have no problem with that.
No, it's a perfectly valid methodology, and it works because if you ever read the reader on what your INTJ or whatever the fuck your given identification is, you're going to find a hell of a lot of similarity with it, as well as, here's the shortcomings that people in this group tend to find, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's me, and it's like, well, here's things that you might want to work on, like, and you won't have a therapist. You want to go through 7 hours of talk therapy before you get there, and all of the resentment that people tend to. You can't tell me nothing because it's just a piece of paper telling you, so it tends to be a little bit better in that way.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, now this is scientific to me. It might not be perfect, but it's close enough. They broke us up into our categories. Mm-hmm. And almost everybody I see online, their letter thing always starts with I. I'm one of the ones who started with E. I'm an extrovert. Mm-hmm. And so they put me I was in the thing with all of the extroverts, and we were a loud table. There were only like 3 of us, but we took over like the whole room, man. Nobody else got to talk. But I realized I don't like those people. And I told you guys before, I don't like people like me. They annoy the shit out of me.
Oh.
Like, well, you should marry somebody like you. You'll drive each other nuts. Don't do that. But yeah, we had a great time, and like I said, we took over the whole class. The introvert table, they look so sad. Mm-hmm. The ones who are like, you were born to be a worker bee. They just look so sad.
And I started by saying like an actual Myers-Briggs test, because you can go online and do like a 15 question questionnaire or 25 or whatever. And it's like, no, you should, if you want one that's like actually accurate, and like the more accurate it is, the better off you are. It will be irrespective of your mood, because some days you feel more outgoing than others, and it'll adjust answers and stuff. There's a reason that the ones that are extensive take like 3 or more hours to do. And you feel like you're answering the same kind of question over and over again, because they're attempting to create a huge sample size where it's, with the political quadrants, for example. It's like, well, it depends on what you mean by this, because in this kind of context, I would say yes, but in this one, I would say no. Sure. Like, are you in favor of policy Y or whatever the fuck? When you're asked the question in a million different ways, or 20 different ways for the same question, there's all the contexts for you. Do you know what I mean? And so it gives you more accurate results, and it gets you closer to what your actual 4-letter designation would be. It's good. It's a good system.
We took the short one, and then they just had us take the short one, and then it was like 2 weeks later they had a group come in. I don't remember who they were, and we literally spent a whole day doing nothing but this. First the test, then going over the results, the kind of things it means, what it can mean for career advancement, where you might excel. Even like you can excel in management even if you are an introvert, kind of thing. So yeah, that company, they're really good at trying to not just help you advance in the career, but in finding out who you are, so you know where to go. And they had several different things like this. They're actually an amazing company, and I miss working there. I'm an extrovert among friends and introverted normally. I was like that as a kid. With my friends, man, I was me. But you put me in a room where I don't know anybody, I'm like, I'm not talking to none of you fuckers. I'm still kind of that way. Like, I don't know you. We have nothing to talk about yet. Ambivert? What's an ambivert? Is that a real thing? Polly?
I don't know.
Okay.
I never heard of an ambivert.
You're the smart one. Why don't you know?
Well, no, and I couldn't tell you.
What do you mean no?
No, Polly, we voted. You're the
smart one.
You voted?
Yes.
When did that happen?
Like 30 seconds ago.
When we were in prison. Like you're both an introvert, extrovert. Okay. I guess. You still tend to fall more one way than the other.
You're transverted.
You're transferred.
Well, it's better than what I thought it meant, which was more along the lines of Amber Alert.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Where?
Me, but I'm talking to you guys. We take over for just a second. Lady Monkey got up. I'm gonna go kiss her and feel her boobs.
Cool.
I'll be right back.
Phil, Jack, and I are like, yeah, that sounds like good times.
Yeah, it's a legitimate reason to walk away for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What up to, Polly?
I am making tomorrow's thumbnail.
Nice.
Which I had totally forgotten about. So I thought, well, shit, I better do that. And that way it'll save me from having to do something half-ass at the last moment. But this one's actually pretty half-ass. I'm kind of cheating on it. But that's okay.
You're allowed.
Yeah, I know. RJ, how's how I'm doing? I'm doing well, thank you. So man, this fucking stuff with Mark Waid, huh?
Oh man, what a shit show.
I won't bore chat because it's Monkey's audience with all this Comicsgate stuff. But oh man, the big lawsuit that's going on. Mark Waid tried to get an independent comic book writer. Tried to stop his graphic novel from getting published because he didn't like him, because he's a critic, because he's on YouTube. So of course he's a bigot, racist, sexist, homophobe. And there, the lawsuit is progressing. The guy who Mark Waid, in my opinion, interfered with his contractual relations and got his comic book canceled, is suing him, and the case is ongoing. It's big and important, like outside of Comicsgate, because it's like, yes, Twitter has ramifications. Carrying on online, besmirching someone's name, not just saying I think the guy's an asshole, but saying that guy's a white supremacist. Like, that's actual slander. You know what I mean? And
did you hear the latest with the other case that Ty Beard is taking?
No, I didn't. I was at my day job all fucking day, and I only caught the only thing I've caught up on this is Zach's video, which was over an hour, a little bit of him just responding to Mark Waid's statement that somebody else had tweeted out yesterday. Anyway, no, I haven't. What's going on there?
Okay, so on Ricada's stream, he let out that Troll God or Frog God Games, something like that. They're a small role-playing company. They are working with Steve Jackson Games to interweave some of the Steve Jackson role-playing stuff into their modules.
Right. Okay.
And they've got a deal. Well, this girl is accusing one of the founders of this company of sexual harassment.
All right.
Yeah, and yes, James Kelly, I do love Ricada Law streams on this. So
yeah, they're great. It's not Jamal Igle offering his opinion. I mean, Nick Ricada is obviously biased in a given direction, but at least there's some kind of expertise in the law going on there, not just guesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, this woman that's accusing this guy is trying to interfere with that contract. It's basically the same sort of thing, a tortious interference. Frog God Games. And what she's calling sexual harassment is, get this, she asked him for a cigarette, and he handed her a cigarette pack, which also had his driver's license and hotel room key in it.
Right.
And in the hotel room were his wife and kids.
Oh.
He just offered her a cigarette, and she was saying that it was harassment because she inferred from that he was inviting her to his hotel room.
Right. As like an indecent proposal kind of thing.
Yeah. So she's been going around saying nasty things like he's a predator and all this.
Oh.
So she apparently has started some sort of campaign against this guy for the last 2 years. And now he's got this thing, potential relationship with Steve Jackson, which is a huge deal. And they were calling like the CEO and whatnot sound like that's going to be a real shit show. I'm interested in seeing where that goes because now they're doing it in role-play games, tabletop role-play games, like they have in comics and board games and all that others.
God, man, Tablegate is real. You were ahead of the curve on this.
I know.
A whole bunch of questions got thrown up here really quick. What do I use? Steven Sperling asked. Photoshop. Yes, I use Photoshop CS6.
Hey guys.
Hey, what sexy lady is in the thumbnail? Well, you'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out.
Later today.
Don't I love the Nick Bricada Law stream? Yes, I do. Oh, Jack already answered that.
Were you pimping yourself?
Not yet.
You should have been.
Well, I'll get there. Did you catch EVS, Ethan Van Sciver, getting shit on by his detractors because his signature looks like a swastika? Yeah, and his comic being 88 pages long. Yeah, I get it. 88 HH, Hail Hitler. That's old as...
Yeah, 88 pages is the standard for a graphic novel.
Yeah, it's
80s.
It's 22 pages is a very common length, and when you start doubling, tripling, quadrupling, you end up there quite easily and predictably. But anyway, that is so old. Monkey, do you know the thing about EVS being a Nazi?
No, is this
Ethan Van Sciver?
Yeah,
I saw something. I didn't read much on it. It's not a thread I followed, but something about a Nazi looking logo, I guess.
Yeah, well, his signature. You're going to get a stylized signature, especially from artists, which of course he is. It's in a box, and it kind of like looks. Oh, it looks like a swastika, and it's like, sure, fine, why not, whatever. And then he did Sinestro, who's a long time enemy of Green Lantern in the DC universe. He is kind of space Hitler, and so a sketchbook that a lot of artists put together to sell at comic book conventions, which is just literally what it sounds like: pieces of unused art, original sketches, all kinds of stuff put together. They'll run like 250 to 1,000 copies or something like that, usually numbered, and you can buy it and get them to sign it at conventions, right? So he did one, and it was like he drew Sinestro looking like a Hitler-like figure, a dictator-like figure, like looking stern and looking down his nose at the audience, kind of thing. And that sketchbook was entitled "My Struggle," as in Mein Kampf.
Okay.
That is the only
one that was based off the Communist Manifesto,
and was the only picture of Sinestro is the one on the cover. And so it's here. Ethan Van Sciver votes Republican. His signature kind of looks like a swastika, and he had a book. What was it? 10 years ago, Jack?
It's probably longer than that now.
Yeah, Van Sciver actually had to go on to eBay to repurchase a copy of his own old sketchbook because he sold them. That was the whole point, right? But he wanted a copy to like show people on his streams to go, this is what all the big deal is about that keeps coming up every now and then. So you had to go on eBay and buy it and pay a hell of a lot more than it was originally sold for. This is for EVS. This whole fucking Nazi thing is like Sargon with the "I wouldn't even rape you" thing. It's just when somebody wants to detract, they bring this up, and it'll never go away.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm replying to Ed Krasenstein.
I was looking up Arcaven Comics. Steven Sperling asked about those. I don't think I've gotten any of those.
That's a good question. Steven Sperling asked, does Sinestro have any weaknesses the way Green Lantern does, like yellow and so forth? Does Sinestro have a color weakness the way Green Lantern does?
He did. They've changed it a lot over the years. Because they've changed the mythology quite a bit since this last reboot. He used to have a yellow ring, which was susceptible to something else, whereas Green Lantern's ring is susceptible to yellow. And now he's got the ultraviolet ring, which can be conquered with strong emotions or whatever. It's stupid.
Yeah, in terms of what we were talking about there, chat, of the Mark Waid, who's longtime comic book creator, that's the guy who went and interfered with this other guy's contract and tried to get it canceled, and successfully did so. One of the things that guy brings up is a really important point. If you were to go to Google, and you can do it as an experiment right now, if you're curious, type in Richard C. Meyer into Google and see what comes up. It'll be article after article after article about this guy who's part of an online hate group called Comicsgate. He's transphobic, Islamophobic, racist, hates POCs, creators of color, wants to keep comic books the way that they were back in the day. And it's like, it's just smear piece after smear piece after smear piece. And one of the reasons that nickname goes by Zach, Richard C. Meyer goes by your boy Zach as a nickname on YouTube. He makes a really valid point. He's like, people don't understand why you want to go after somebody for tortious interference and defamation in this way, because they have defamed you. And you search my name, I go apply for a loan somewhere, I go to get a job somewhere, and they search your name, and what comes up? Leader of a hate group, alt-right white nationalist associated with the KKK, which people have said about him. Has it slandered the fuck out of him? This guy's name is dirt now if you just search him online. And he wants to be able to say, look, I sued one of the guys who actually was interfering with my business relationships on this basis, and I won the case for slander and tortious interference. Like, there you go. I mean, it's all bullshit. It was a good portion of it, not all of it, was perpetuated by this particular guy, and I took him to court and beat him over it. It's all bullshit. And it's like, yeah, you really do want to say that. Clear your name, as it were, at least in some degree.
Lamented Guide, thank you so much. Morning, Monkey. What did I miss? Oh, so much.
Yeah, sorry about that, Monkey. I kind of just hijacked a channel made about comics.
No, you're fine, man. I was scrolling through Twitter, and I just saw I did not realize the death toll had risen as high as it is in Sri Lanka.
Last I heard was 287. What's it at now?
359.
Fuck me.
More than double what it was the first night when we first heard.
They're just sifting through the rubble now. So they're finding more people. Or people died from their injuries.
That is a frightening, yeah, that too. That is a frightening jump from 287. You said 359. I mean, I'm not trying to be all, deep with the numbers, but it just like,
that's a lot of dead people.
Well, you got to remember that they're in a third world country. The medical standards are not what we have here.
Well, even if they were, I mean, some hospitals had like, I think it was the one in Colombo. I read that they had like 200 people shoved into it. And then another one had like 300 people shoved into it. Even a major metropolis hospital here in the U.S. shoving that many people at once who need serious help, you're going to lose a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But then you throw in the fact that they're not in sanitary rooms.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anywhere near the training that we do, or the equipment, the life-saving supplies. They might have run out of bandages, for God's sake.
Oh, they ran out of blood, man.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, they did just... Their civil war ended less than a decade ago. Your infrastructure doesn't have time to rebuild to what it was even just before the war, when they were still a third world country.
Mm-hmm.
So getting people to and from is probably a pain in the ass. Coordination's a nightmare.
359. God damn. Okay, I don't want to talk about that. Fuck. So we have pictures over on the hashtag, so we're gonna look at that instead.
What was going on with the Krasensteins there? I'm curious.
Oh, Trump had tweeted out that an ex CIA or somebody had told him that the British intelligence were working with Obama to spy on him.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if that's true. I don't really care. But the Krasnostines, of course, responded, and I just pointed out to the Krasnostines that we do know there was foreign intelligence operatives interfering in our election, and nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck.
Well, I mean, quite literally, it was true in the sense that Steele himself was a former operative. So to say that he wasn't using his contacts, I mean, come on, he absolutely was. He was using his intelligence contacts gained as an MI6 agent to fuck around all over the Kremlin and get as much information as possible. He didn't get those contacts because he wasn't with MI6, but that's beyond the point. It's like they're all part of the Five Eyes. I mean, yeah, they do share intelligence, and they were conducting a quote official intelligence operation, which is to collect as much information as possible. You call up your counterparts over at one of the other Five Eyes countries' agencies and say, do you have any information on blah, blah, blah? So is it really so hard to believe? It's not nearly as nefarious. It's actually standard operating procedure. What's the confusion?
Real quick, Circa Zero, those are nice pictures. I appreciate those. Whether they did it to spy on him, I don't know. But like you said, we absolutely know. And yeah, he's former MI6. And I've mentioned this before. If you pay attention to the intelligence community here in the US, they will tell you that nobody is former CIA. Nobody's former CIA. They're still involved somehow. And like you said, I mean, maybe they need a contact. And that's all it is. Hey, dude, do you have a contact? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll hook you up with this guy. But this was a British intelligent agent who contacted the Russians to dig up dirt on Trump, and nobody cares. I mean, nobody's denying it happened. Instead, they're like, well, look what we found. Somebody peed on Trump in a hotel.
Well, I mean, look. How long is what's his name going to jail for his dealings in Ukraine?
Is that Manafort?
Was it Manafort? Okay.
I can't remember.
And who was his lone business partner in Ukraine? Manafort and Associates. He had one business partner there.
Wasn't that the guy that ordered pizza?
The Podestas.
Podesta, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was the Podestas. And it's like, Robert S. Mueller III said, we're going to take the investigation wherever it leads us. Right. And did up until it was, whoa, shit, the Podestas. No, we're not going to investigate. Wait a minute. You sent this guy to jail for years on criminal illegal dealings in Ukraine, and we're intimating that it had to do with Russian interference in the 2016 election, which is your particular mandate. Right. So what were his business associates up to? Because he only had one company he was associated with there. Oh, we didn't know. We didn't start an investigation. Wait, what? Why?
Okay, Polly, I'll explain this to you real slow. See, Mueller realized that Podesta is connected to Hillary Clinton, and Mueller didn't feel depressed at that moment. So he didn't want to pursue this any further. Because that's how you get sad.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's how you get real sad.
How is that not a fucking question? It's like, well, we don't know what his lone business partners were up to. But you thought it was serious enough to investigate him and serious enough to charge him, and the jury clearly thought it was serious enough to send him to jail for years and years and years. But you didn't investigate with his business partners? You didn't even start one? Why not?
Dude, are you trying to get Mueller sad? Come on, man, knock it off.
Don't make Mueller sad. Hashtag don't make Mueller sad.
Save Mueller.
Make sure he's not sad.
Right.
That's how you end up with a double tap to the back of the head from yourself. So
it happens,
It does. It happens sadly too often to sad people around the Clintons.
Yeah, there were like 40 of them so far. You really think that dude wanted to be next?
Do you think he's avoiding airplanes these days? Oh man. Lexi says I stay off Twitter entirely. Why? Twitter's amazing. Twitter is life.
No, Twitter's not life. Twitter's a sewer.
Thank you.
It's fun to play down there sometimes, but you don't stay for long periods.
I love my Twitter. Unfortunately, most of the time I fuck around on Twitter too long. It's on Scribe's day, so I don't get to talk about all the shit that I did. There's so much stupid on Twitter. I love it. It makes me happy. It's like, oh, look, there's another dummy.
Well, there's a lot of that on there.
Oh, there is. There is. Have you guys followed any of the controversy about Mortal Kombat 11?
Yes, a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
Did I reply to this one? Let me see. Because there was, I know I replied to Sophane's tweet, but did I? I didn't. Okay, I didn't retweet it myself. Where is it? I gotta find it. Sorry. The most. What's the thing I say? The least professional monkey on the internet. So somebody's bitching about the women's in Mortal Kombat 11. And this is a tweet they said, fuck the socialists pretending to be video game journalists in the West, fuck the third wave feminists in the West, and fuck the people that liked NetherRealm's design for their MK11 female characters too. They're the reason we're getting such shit female characters like these. Now, real quick, Lamented Guide, do you think Barr will be found suicided with 2 taps? No, because he's a Republican. As long as you only get sad if you're on the Democrat side.
Or if you're investigating the Clintons.
Yes, and then you get real sad.
Yeah, do not betray the Clintons. That's what I learned.
Well, it makes you sad. I mean, these are good people, and it makes you sad.
Yeah, they are very upstanding people that didn't do nothing to Haiti. So,
yeah, I love the Clintons. If there's a tap out there, I just want to make. I love the Clintons, especially Hillary. Woo, Hillary.
Speaking of which, Monkey, on a real quick side note, you watched Ben Shapiro's Sunday special with Dennis Miller, right?
I did indeed.
Any thoughts on his idea that Hillary was going to come in at the last minute?
I don't think she will. I think by the time we get to the last minute, you're going to have a candidate who has the majority backing, and having somebody like Hillary come in, especially if it's Harris, having somebody like Hillary come in will just be like, we don't care. Sorry, lady, you had your chance.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And she doesn't want to lose again. She can't take another loss.
After what? Well, right. After watching a good bulk of the CNN town hall. Fuck, I hate that they've used that term.
Long commercial.
Yeah. And watching Elizabeth Warren up there, I'm now angered by Elizabeth Warren in a way that I wasn't before. I was down to like make fun of her and so on. Now she's just taking up space and building her resume for after her campaign. She knows she's not going to win. Mm-hmm. So now it's all the things, all the progressive things. I thought she was just, like I said last night, a flopping fish on the shore dying, and these are death throes, but that's why she's like throwing out all these things that she's never said before in terms of progressive values and policies she wants to pursue. And it's reparations for everyone, free college for everyone, and the system's racist, the police are racist, the jails are racist, the courts are racist, everything's racist. Like it just, what the fuck, Elizabeth Warren, where are you getting all this from suddenly?
I think go ahead, I'm sorry.
But I now see it as resume building for someone who's going to burn through their war chest for their campaign as much as possible. And she'll only be backing down when the donations begin to falter. And it's looking like she might have to put some of her own millions, because yes, she's a millionaire many times over, as is her husband, but she's not putting her own money into her own campaign. She's going to ride it out for as long as possible to develop her resume so she can go get a job at some whatever the fuck. And, at a university, she already worked at Harvard as a law professor. She'll score a job somewhere else. She'll be fine. So that's what she's doing right now. Fucking resume building, taking up space, burning through her donors' money, and crowding the Democratic stage, both literally and figuratively.
I think you're wrong. I think she really, really, really wants to win. We talked about this a little bit earlier. We may get back to Mortal Kombat, guys, but we're into politics now, and this is my crack. She was one of the, if not the first one, the first major candidate to announce, and she got a ton of attention for that. And she's had a ton of attention since she won in 2012, beating was it Scott? I think because there had been a special election, he won the seat, and then she took it back for the Democrats. And she's kind of been one of their rising stars. And I think for her, this is ego. I really do. I think she thinks she has a chance to win, and she's trying to read the tea leaves. She's trying to go, okay, what is going to get me elected here? And you have a whole bunch of the party who think Bernie is where you have to go. There's so many of them who are like, look, guys, Bernie was going to lose in 2016 without the Democrats cheating. He was. And on a national stage, he would have got his ass kicked because a lot of Democrats own businesses. Sorry, it's just how it is. But she thinks that is where the party is moving, and she is doing her best to try to get. She's doing her best to Bill Clinton it. And for those of you who don't know, Bill Clinton was very, very good at taking somebody else's ideas and making them his own. Very good at it. Very good at reading the polls and going, okay, we need to go over here if we want to stay popular. I think that's what she's doing. I think I think all of the attention moving off of her once like Harris got in, especially once Harris got into it, is making her just throw out everything, hoping something will become a sticking point where people will come to her. I see no other reason for the college thing. There's a lot of people who, we need to fix the college loan problem. That's been a mantra for a decade now, easily. But suddenly she's going to just pay it all off, which is out Bernieing Bernie. I honestly think that she thinks this is the stuff that's going to make her win. I don't think she's smart enough to be trying to build a career. Plus, she's old as fuck, man.
I think Holly might be right, but I think it's just desperation.
I see. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's a Hail Mary, see what sticks kind of thing. Real quick, Lamented Guide. Funny how Dems play follow the leader and are not OG. Well, it's the same in all politics. To be fair to the Democrats, there's only so many issues out there, so they're going to do what they think is going to get them elected. Are we talking about with Elizabeth Warren? Who is she? That's what we're talking about, Elizabeth. Miss Navajo.
Liawatha.
What was she? Cherokee? I forget.
Yeah, Cherokee.
That's wouldn't it be great if she used Europe's song Cherokee for her?
Wow, yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be great.
Somebody should do that. Make a video of Warren with Cherokee playing. No, anyway, yeah, Polly, I see what you're saying there. And if she was younger, I would think maybe. I could also buy, she's just building up her war chest for when she's going to run again, 2022. Because, yeah, guys, there's a great law that if she doesn't win, she can take all the money she still has left and put it into her Senate campaign. Yay. Which, by the way, she can pay herself from.
Polly might be onto something. It's possible she's just doing this to build up that money and then hang on to it for either her Senate campaign or so she can just kind of like siphon it off slowly. And then she'll write a book and retire from politics. And then
Well, now that Bernie's told her how to become a millionaire, I bet she's already writing a book.
Probably. I bet it's on the Native American experience.
I actually like Warren being in the election. I like all of the majors that are in the election right now being in there. The people like Gabbard and even Buttigieg, I know he's polling well and he's getting some money, but there's no fucking way he wins. No fucking way. Those ones need to go away. You probably have 10 hangers on that have no business even being in the race. Look, you can run for president if you want to, but we all know you ain't got no fucking chance in hell. Mm-hmm. But I like having Warren in there because it's gonna fracture the party. And the Democrats need that right now. They need a cleaning. They need a cleaning of their party. They need to find the wackadoos and get them the fuck out. Make them go make their own wackadoo party. We don't need a 1968 again. We don't need a riot and fires and shit. But they're getting close because you have insane commies trying to take over your party, guys. You need to get them out. And this is the election that's going to do it, if anything's going to do it, because they are all rushing to that side. And sad, like, I think Harris is she's actually playing it kind of smart. She actually went against the whole felons being able to vote thing, which Democrats everywhere, yes, felons should be able to vote. And she's like, I don't think felons should be able to vote. And good for her for that. She's actually the moderate in the race right now, other than giving teachers a raise because she wants to. And what's the other one she's banging on right now? Oh, she's on the gun violence one right now. I mean, she is their moderate compared to everybody else. Oh, not everybody else. Sure, Gabbard, Castro, some of them are they have no fucking chance. But she's their moderate, so it'll be interesting to watch.
Hey, did you guys see what Harris said about the firearms laws?
Which thing? She was on a roll yesterday.
Oh, she said she's given Congress 100 days to deal with gun control.
Yeah, she said there's 40,000 how'd she put it? Gun deaths. 40,000 gun deaths a year. If Congress doesn't do something in the first 100 days, I will take executive action to protect our communities and children. That is almost a direct quote. I could pull up the direct quote, but yeah, she's going to take executive action to limit the Second Amendment. That'll be interesting. Somebody should ask her how exactly she's going to do that. Because president doesn't have that power, sweetheart.
But a king does.
We were talking about that last night, and Scribbles, he's like, I'm worried about executive orders because DACA. DACA was absolutely illegal, but nobody challenged it. Nobody who could challenge it challenged it. They just let it go through, and that's the only reason that is still a law. If that had been challenged, it would have been overturned the same way that the extension of DACA, I forget what they called that one, but the extension of DACA that would have covered the parents of the DACA kids.
Oh, I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name.
Yeah, Obama, that's the one where he's like, I said 39 times that I couldn't do this, but suddenly we found the loophole in the law 2 years later that lets me do it.
Yeah, squint really hard.
And then it went before the courts, and they're like, no, you don't. You can't do that, dickhead. I'm not afraid of executive powers. Or executive orders. I'm afraid of people not challenging them. Thanks, Obama. Look, Obama did things that Obama got overturned a lot when he did this shit.
Rightly so.
Yeah, but people look at it. Look, he used them, and yes, he tried, and that's what the courts are for. That's the balance of power. And the problem, DACA, we got screwed there by our Congress. They were the ones who should have taken that to court, and they didn't. And now, in a weird turn of events, when Trump reversed it, he got taken to court, and the courts are like, "Well, you have to give us a good reason why you're getting rid of it." Like,
yeah, that was bullshit too.
It is complete bullshit, but it is the way our laws work. So now you actually have a court system defending something they almost certainly would have found unconstitutional because it was allowed to ride so long, and Trump overturned it instead of anybody suing against it, which is fucking weird.
Well, the courts recognize that Orange Man bad.
Orange Man bad. He gets overturned a lot too because look, Mr. Trump, you have advisors who are political hacks who've done this shit for years. Let them help you, man. I understand you're used to running your business and just telling people this is what I want done, and that's great. And you can still do that, but you have to work within the system because you keep getting overturned because you're trying too much. Trying too much, man. Just back it up. Let the people who do this for a living help you get it done. Almost all of the ones of his that get overturned, it's because of some procedural bullshit that they didn't do right. It's like you have the people who work for you who could have done that for you. Relax. I love Trump. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to his bravado and everything, but when it comes to actually getting this stuff done, he's a little too much of Trump. He's a little too Trumpian. It's like, calm down, man. Just let the system work. It'll work. Okay, yeah. Emma MK11 is woke, and my money won't be used for it ever. You know what? One, don't buy it at full price. It's fucking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's the same as it was in like '99.
Yeah, they've added a story to it, but it's still, I mean, the main part of the game is beating things up and trying to rip out their entrails. But yeah, there's a lot of people pissed off that they don't have booby. Well, they never showed actual boobies, but they got real close to showing the boobies, and most of the girls are covered up in this one. And I understand being mad that this happened because of SJW nonsense. How, you know, we got to cover up the women's. I get that. I do. But if the game is any good, who gives a shit? To me, it's
on Steam.
What's that?
What's it going for on Steam?
I think it's $59 for the regular copy. I don't know if it's got a deluxe copy or any of that shit. Let's see. Immortal.
Well, you know, there's $100 version out there.
I'm sure. Because there usually is, but I haven't looked at it because I don't play Mortal Kombat.
$60 is a ripoff for any new game. That's way overpriced.
The premium edition is $99.99.
Yep.
Get what you want, but all they did was give the women a little bit more clothes.
You remember when you could spend $100 on a video game and you get like a statue or something?
Sure, yeah.
Now they just like, oh, here's some skins.
Yeah, that's what you get with the premium edition. You get a mini game, a combat pack, which I don't know what the fuck that means. 6 new playable characters, weekly early access to DLC characters, 7 skins, and 7 sets of gear.
Lame.
I look at this the same way I look at it when they do have naked women in it. It's the developer's choice. If you don't like it, make your own fucking game. But the game's not going to play any different if she has her boobies out or if she has her boobies covered. Unless she has naked booby power.
Well, that depends how you can play with one hand.
Indeed. If you can play with one hand, I understand, I guess. But there's actual porn out there. You don't have to look at almost covered titties in a video game for that.
Yeah, I think they look over that quite a bit, and they get all bent out of shape about, you know, naked chicks in video games.
What do you think about them having character Jax go back in time and end slavery? I think it's stupid, but I've heard worse game stories.
Yeah, I wasn't going to buy the game anyway, but I would definitely not buy it now because I think that's dumb and I'm not giving them money for it.
Like I said, I'm not a big Mortal Kombat player anyway, but the utter anger over them not having more scantily clad women, and I'm told it's not that, it's the idea behind it. They're caving to SJWs. Okay, I get that, I do. But does it affect the gameplay?
Well, that's where it starts. You know, they start with the little wins, like Jax going back in time to create a black ethno state or whatever, like Black Panther. And then it goes to no jiggles, and then it goes to the next thing you know, the men can't be muscular because that's a sign of patriarchy, and they're going to change their pronouns or some shit. And eventually the game just becomes so unplayably awful because we've seen it happen so many times already.
Sure, and I'm not denying that at all. And if it gets to the point where it's affecting the story or the actual gameplay itself, sure, fine. But if it's just that they clothed or didn't clothe the character, I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's just a pushback of the general concept of it. People are just fed up in general, and it's coming out in this particular instance.
And yeah, like I said, I get it, I do, but again, to me, it's just the reverse of the people who get mad because there are boobies. I mean, it literally means nothing to the gameplay. And I'm sure eventually they will have a skin you can buy that'll have it so you can jack off while you play the game. Relax. You'll get to see almost nipple eventually. Or you could check our hashtag because there's often almost titty on there. And they're real, y'all. I mean, they might not be real, but they're flesh. They're flesh covering water sacks.
Yeah, gross.
Polly, you're kind of quiet on this one.
On Mortal Kombat? I don't know. I don't really have a... I'm not going to start talking shit about a game I don't know much about,
That's fair enough.
Not stopping me.
I haven't played it. I've seen the skins. I've seen the characters. One of they're mad because the characters themselves are ugly, and the women they're ugly. I wonder how much of that was a design decision and how much of it was this is what we can do with the technology. Because I'll tell you what, the guys are ugly too. It's just an ugly set of characters. But again, for me, is the game fun to play? That's what I care about. I don't care about anything else. Is it fun to play?
I for one am waiting for the body positive version so we could have big fat people fighting each other.
You know what? Those are fun too. There are fighting games out there. Street Fighter has a big old fat guy, doesn't it?
Only I know. I want a bunch of fat people. We'll call it Fatty Brawl. And it'll just be like you win by whoever collects the most cupcakes.
They get winded as soon as they take a step.
Yeah, and your special move is like your rascal comes flying through and hits them.
You throw the Twinkie guy at him.
Yeah, and like you instead of like finding first aid packs or something, you have like a dialysis machine.
Yeah, for me again, it seems a little overblown for what happened. It's literally just they covered up their titties a little bit, and some of them are not attractive. Okay.
I think it's the people that are very vocal about this. It's a culmination of things. We saw this with Battlefield with the cybernetic woke chick, and people are just getting fed up.
That one I understand a little bit more. That one was that what happened with that is supposed to be this really realistic game. That's how they promoted it, and then they put this cybernetic chick on the cover for a World War II game. And you're like, none of that makes sense. None of it. And then when the fans spoke up about it, the company reacted very badly.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Their reaction was basically, go fuck yourselves. And I don't think that's how you should talk to your fans. I mean, you can say, look, we're sorry you don't like the design decision. Please try the game anyway, and hopefully you like it. If not, maybe you'll catch us on the next one. You know what I mean? Something, just be a little conciliatory towards your fans about it. We understand you're upset by that. Sorry, but this is the way we're going. No, they're like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Fuck all of you.
Why aren't sales as good as we expected?
Oh man, it's awesome. I do love those kind of arguments though. But like I said, for the Mortal Kombat one, and yeah, I know the Jack storyline, that's kind of weird, but otherwise it's literally just we don't like how the girls look. They're too covered.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I think it's just like
man, plus there's other games.
What the hell was that?
That was me trying to figure out what I wanted to say.
Oh. Sounded like somebody was moaning in pain in your background.
Well, no, it kind of was me moaning in pain because it's one of those things.
I was almost saying, like, Monkey, are you all right? Or Monkey, would you let that person go that you've got tied up in your basement?
That was my brain fighting against this because it really is okay. A woman who calls herself the fat sex therapist gave a speech to St. Olaf College in Minnesota, during which she claimed that diet culture was a form of assault and that weight loss was white supremacy. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, fuck.
No, I've heard the weight loss is white supremacy thing before.
Oh, you guys got to see
Western beauty standards?
Hang on. Yeah, Western beauty standards is what it usually comes down to. Speaking of Western beauty standards. Dun, dun, dun.
Is she sitting next to Jabba the Hutt there? Or
no, Jabba's the chick. This is the weight loss science girl. A woman who calls herself, yeah. Oh dear God. I truly believe that a child cannot consent to being on a diet the same way a child cannot consent to having sex. You don't necessarily put a child on a diet, but you don't. Oh my God. Oh, that's a Paul Joseph Watson video. Okay. Shut up, bitch. You're stupid.
And there it is. Okay.
Very concise.
I mean, what else do you say to a fat sex therapist who's telling people that dieting is assault? No, you're assault. That bitch is assaulting her heart. Every time she eats 4 cheeseburgers, her heart's going, please stop. Real quick, thank you, Lamented Guy. Did you see Adam Conover on Joe Rogan? I still haven't watched it yet. I will.
It's a shit show.
That for those of you who don't know, that's Adam Ruins Everything. And Cryptic, thank you. Call Captain Ahab. We have a whale sighting. God damn it. He's Asian. He can say that. Get it? Because the Asians do the whaling.
Yeah. I fully support that.
That was a deep joke. God, fuck off. Just fuck right off.
There, I'm done. Nice. Okay.
Look, my daughter had a friend.
Think out loud.
Her mom went way overboard. She punished her child with calisthenics.
Ooh.
Yeah. If she got a B on a report card, she would make her go run laps. If her mom thought she ate too much, she would make her go run laps.
Yeah, that would give you issues.
Yeah, right? Yeah, the poor kid. But as a parent, you should be feeding your child healthy things. I've seen so many kids, man, they look like they're about to explode. And their parents are like, what? It's genetics. Like, no, it's not. That's fucking cheese. Cut that child open, cheese is going to leak out.
I came across a meme saying that today. It's a big fat guy there's a huge fat guy with tits and everything, and a doctor's got a stethoscope to his heart listening. And the conversation above it is doctor, and then the response. And the guy says, see, doc, the problem is that obesity runs in my family. And the doctor responds, no, the problem is that nobody runs in your family.
Indeed. It's like, I'm big boned. No, you're not. No, you're not. The human skeleton doesn't change that much. It might in length, but nobody has like a Coke can sized bone in their arm. That doesn't happen. Shut up. And yeah, dieting is assault. Fuck off. I'm all for being nice to people sometimes. But this fat cunt, man, fuck her. She's going to get people killed. You know what's assault, you fat bitch? Is telling people that they should eat and look like you, because you're going to get them killed.
Well,
that's like telling them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
That's like telling them to drive backwards on the freeway. You know, they might live. They might. Doesn't make it a good way to get home. Like, nobody else is driving that way. You'll have all the lanes to yourself. I'm sorry, Jack. What were you going to say?
No, these people don't care about who they hurt. They care about justifying their own bad actions.
Yes. Her sitting up there talking about how it's okay to be fat isn't about you being it being okay for you to be fat. It's about her being okay for her to be fat. About it being okay for her to need to go out and sit in a giant metal tub to bathe on her porch.
Jesus, that's an image, isn't it?
Dude, there was a story a couple months ago about this fat guy he lives with his dad, and all he does is play video games all day. And even he says, look, I'm probably going to die before I'm 30. And one of the images actually, there were 2 or 3 images in the article was this giant round metal tub that he had to bathe in on the porch.
Like an old wash basin, but gigantic.
Gigantic, yeah, like you would bathe an elephant in or something. And he would go sit his fat ass in there, and they would just pour a whole bunch of dishwashing liquid in it, because at his size, soap would be expensive. And his dad would fill it up, and he'd bathe a little bit, and then go sit back on his bed naked. And then his dad would bring him a whole bunch of food because he was hungry. That's a bad parent. I don't like to use the term bad parent. That's a bad parent. I wash myself with a rag on a stick. Fair enough. If that's what you want to do. And then I do always wonder that, like, there's no way this woman can reach her ass. No way. No way. She would need a industrial sized Japanese toilet.
You want to hear something gross about fat people?
Sure.
No. All right, go ahead. Fine.
So I used to kind of see this doctor chick, right? And she was telling me that she worked mainly with overweight patients, like severely morbidly obese.
Hold that story, because I feel like we're going to need it. Sir Wolfgang, thank you. If I had to bathe like that, I would use a toaster bath bomb. You and me both, my friend. I'm sorry, Jack. So doctor worked mostly with fat people. Continue.
And she would say how often they get the women would get yeast infections and UTIs.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
And that's because they would wipe the wrong way, because they couldn't wipe front to back, because they have to reach behind them and under, and they couldn't do it because if they were too fat and their arms were too flabby. So they were just smearing poop on their badges.
Wonderful. You weren't wrong. That is gross.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, but
he was right. I didn't say he was wrong to say no.
Oh man, do not encourage people to be like that. For fuck's sake. Look, if you're like that, yeah, you're killing yourself. But don't encourage other people to do it to make your fat ass feel better.
Yeah, don't justify your low self-esteem for being overweight.
Yeah, and
hurt other people in the process because you're lonely and miserable. That's not an excuse.
They're so brave.
No, they're not brave. It's insidious and reckless to say that to other people. Say, hey, look, I know I'm not healthy, but I'm trying. And then actually try, because you can lose weight. It's difficult, but you can.
Stargazer Nuts says, damn it, Jack. And Nuts, thank you so much. That is actually excellent timing. Well, just before she said, damn it, Jack. She's pimped us all out. Don't forget, guys, Monkey in the Morning is brought to you by you, because nobody else will sponsor me. And these gentlemen on the panel, they would love your support too, because they're awesome people. Jack has a Streamlabs there that Nuts is thrown into the chat. And Polly, who'll have a Streamlabs eventually, does have a channel you can go sub to where he does comic book curation every Wednesday at 10
p.m. Eastern, roughly.
Very roughly.
Central.
It's like 80 grit sandpaper, roughly. It's fine.
Where he talks with Jack and Inquisitor about all things comic book related. How'd I do?
Very good.
Yeah.
I got most of it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And guys, they are really fun guys to listen to. You listen to them on this show, man. Go listen to them on that show. They're awesome. But don't listen to it live. Hang on. Don't listen to it live, because it's in the middle of my fucking night on Lords of the Night. Listen to them after. I love you, Polly. See, that's why he's always late, is because he loves me so much he doesn't want to take views away from me. He's a good man. I'm trying to pimp you out here.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, yeah, let's go with that story. It's not that I'd be missing half my live audience or anything.
Yeah, seriously, check them out. Even if you can't catch it live, go check out the videos. They're great and they're funny, man. That's what counts for me, man. I could listen to almost anything if it's funny.
Well, that's the target idea. And Quiz Jack and I have talked about it a bunch of times. It's like, yeah, comic books is a niche market, and it totally is. And that's why you have to reach wider and further with it. It's a video podcast where we talk about all that stuff. And yeah, okay, sometimes we do deep cuts, but there's no point, right, Jack, where we're not like, hey, just so you guys know, this is the background of this character, whatever, and this is why we're debating this thing. So anyway, but I mean, we spent half an hour debating over Gwen World, remember? So it stuff goes into fun fuckery really quick.
I thought about you. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we get off topic quite a bit.
No.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I thought about you the other day because for my birthday, I got lots of Steam money from my family because they love me, and the Lego games were on sale, and I didn't have Lego's Marvel Superheroes 2. Mm-hmm. And like, okay, I'm getting it. So I pulled the trigger and bought it, and I was watching a little video for it, and Gwen comes on the screen. I was like, well, yes, I'm gonna play as Gwen. Oh, but it made me think of you guys because of the whole Gwen thing, the Gwen-troversy.
The Gwen-troversy.
The Gwen-troversy.
Well, I'm still trying to get over Gwen Goblin, man. That was just it's because I got chumped out, man. I totally believed it was a joke. It wasn't. It was
it's a joke. It's just not the funny kind. Like, oh, this is a real thing. Lovely.
Well, it's better that Gwen Goblin was real and not Gwen Ticus. Like Gwen Galactus would have been the worst.
Oh, it'll happen. Give it.
Imagine blonde hair from underneath his purple helmet. Oh God,
that would be awesome. You know, I because of you guys, I looked up some Gwen cosplay. Well, actually, it was you guys inspired it, and I think it was Jordan who put the Gwen pictures up on #MITAM, where you guys can send stuff I may or may not look at. But like, ooh, that it inspired me to go look at Gwen cosplay, and I don't know about the books. Look, Gwen died, in my opinion. She died way back in like the 70s or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah. So bringing her
60s,
back,
actually, I think, but yeah.
Yeah. So they brought her back because she got popular through like movies and shit these days. I don't really have an opinion on that. I do have an opinion on Gwen cosplay, and I gotta say, I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, yeah, it's not that the character has to be bad, and it's not that women don't make the Ghost Spider Gwen costume look sexy as fuck, because they absolutely do. You're not wrong. There's all kinds of hot cosplayers out there doing Spider Gwen. So what does it come back to? Shitty writing, shitty editing, shitty art. What are you guys doing? Like this could be an okay character. Well, we want a character that'll appeal to young girls, and this was your idea.
You know, this would have been an excellent time for them to make a new character. That's what.
Get this guy, Jack. New character.
I know.
They're intellectually bankrupt over there, dude.
Yeah.
This has always been my problem when they decide to, make Thor a woman, or Iron Man a woman, or everything a woman, or black. It is so patronizing. You could make new characters instead of just giving them the recycled white men characters. Mm-hmm. Do you realize how many, and I know you two do, but how many characters have been in comics that you never ever see again because they don't resonate with the audience? You throw it all out there. You make a good story. Maybe that character is popular. Maybe it's not. And you go with the ones that are popular. How did this formula disappear?
I hear you, and especially because it's we brought this up on Comic Book Curation a bunch, but it's, if you want to do a black character, you want to do a female character, you want to do a female teenage character, you want to do a female teenage black character, like whatever it is you want to do. Marvel's pantheon is disgustingly large. Go back, find a character that you think is underrated, and revamp them. What do you think they did with Black Panther?
Yeah.
You don't even need to really create. Just go back and research, find someone you like, and reinvigorate them,
Thank you, Lamented Guide. Comic book characters staying dead? Huh, you're funny. Yeah, I know. Well, we hadn't even got to them being dead yet. You just have. I'm going to retire and give my suit to a chick from high school because she's really smart. Yeah, it's stupid. Just make a new character. Stop trying to suck off the old ones.
No, they know the old characters already have a fan base. So what they're doing is stealing from that effectively. Yeah. They want that built-in fan base, and they think that just by changing the physical aspects of the character, that's what it is that is drawing people in. You know, oh, you like Steve Rogers? Well, you're going to love him black. Mm-hmm. It's lazy and intellectually bankrupt. So
and patronizing.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the point that gets me. And they're all, you see the news articles about it and they're cheering. And I'm like, do you realize what you're cheering? You fuck nut. Seriously.
But they're the shill press, man. They cheer what they're told to cheer. In other words, whatever happened is awesome, regardless of what it is. They don't have opinions.
These people are self-loathing white supremacists.
You're not wrong.
They got to raise up the poor people of color. And that's what'll make him happy. Little pats on the head. It's disgusting.
He's not wrong. I mean, you should hear the things that Mark Waid says in Unguarded Moments. You have to now keep in mind, we're talking about a guy who has the emotional temperament of a baby, literally, and he also looks like a baby because he's big, fat, and bald.
Time out. Tell the audience who Mark Waid is.
Well, I did when you were gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, tell them now. There's new people too.
He's a longtime writer in comic books. Has been in the game for fucking decades. His ability to write new and interesting stories is kind of petered out, but he's still a legend, or if not a legend, extremely well known. And he's become one of the big anti-comics gate guys. And he's a huge SJW, right? This guy repeatedly says like POCs, LGBTQ plus. He throws around the acronyms like you wouldn't believe. It's like, Mark, how many black people do you know?
No, but I mean, he accused. That's a doorman.
Yeah. And keep in mind, he's accusing Richard C. Meyer, your boy Zach, that I was talking about when you're gone, the guy he's suing, of being a white nationalist who's associated with the KKK. What are you talking about? All of Richard C. Meyer's kids are multi-ethnic and multiracial. His daughter is Muslim. She wears a hijab, and he calls him an Islamophobe. Well, it's because he's a former Marine and did a tour overseas. I'm imagining either fell in love and married a woman there that he later divorced because he's not with either one of the women now, or he met her back here. But he said, yeah, I fell in love with the culture over there, and so on and so forth. Well, this guy sounds more worldly and less racist than you, Mark Waid. What the fuck? But that's what I'm trying to riff off of it, what Jack was saying, self-loathing people who actually harbor some pretty racist ideas. He says in his Unguarded Moments, well, the strong need to protect the weak. That's why you protect them. He's talking about black people when he says that. Mm-hmm. Patronizing? You're goddamn right it's patronizing, monkey. Well, you need white knights like myself, pasty, old, fat, balding white men to protect you. Are you fucking kidding?
Look, that is a all through the left. That is a pretty common thing, and they don't see the racism in it. The what do they call it? The racism of low expectations.
Yeah,
where white people have to. I say that right as Scribe came in. I think he's the one that introduced that term to me. Hi, Scribbles. But the racism low expectations, whereas black people can't thrive if the honkies don't do it for them.
Yeah, well, you remember that?
Yeah, they can.
With the Thomas Smith guy who said that meritocracy was racist. That's the most white supremacist thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
because it's so self-congratulatory. Well, white people are on top, but it's not moral. So, let me stand up and step back to give my position that I naturally floated into to these other people who wouldn't be able to make it if I didn't do this. I mean, it's so self-lauding to talk like that. Looking at you, Brie Larson.
Several people have corrected me. It's a soft bigotry or the soft racism. Either way. There you go. Yeah. Sorry, Scribbles. I messed it up, but I was close. It's the same thing. Fuck off. Ollie, kiss my ass.
Well,
I love you guys.
They're going to put it in there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to see. Tomorrow, the first 5 minutes, I'll be shouting out the soft bigotry. But yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that it's in comics too, because it's fucking everywhere. Like, those Negroes can't make it if the white man doesn't do it for them. And I pointed this out so many times, and it is actually true. And you can go look it up. That's it. That's the kind of shit the Southern plantation owner said.
Yep.
The Negroes aren't going to be able to survive if the plantation owner doesn't take care of them. I mean, it's literally the same shit.
Moreover than that, whenever somebody is talking along these lines, and I made the mistake of bringing it up one time when talking with a number of faculty members at my older university. And I never brought it up again. Because we were sitting there discussing, and I was under the mistaken impression in the first year of my master's program that I was in a place of a free market of ideas. Silly me. And somebody was talking about white privilege and so on, and how white people need to stand up and step back. So the progressive stack was brought up. I did not know it by that name at the time, but that was what was being argued. And I said, now, keep in mind, I'm the one grad student in the room, and everything else is administrators and faculty members like associate professors and sessional instructors. And I said, help me understand how what you're saying is anything other than a repackaged white man's burden.
That's exactly what it is.
And oh, Jesus Christ. It went over like a lead balloon. It was just dead silence for a second. It's like, do you even know what the white man's burden is? And I said, yeah, that's why I referenced it. Like, what the fuck?
It's a new take on Manifest Destiny. Oh, sorry. Whoopsie, not the answer you're looking for.
Yeah, it's like the white peoples of the world. It's their responsibility. It's our burden to drag along the colored races to the mongrels was actually the phrase commonly used at the time. Drag them along to advancement in modern technology and so on, because they're never going to create it for themselves. I mean, tell me how it's just repackaged, polished up, some of the harsher language removed, but the same core idea is there. You don't believe in individual agency, ability, or self-determination of these people. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking about them this way.
Real quick, Scribbles is leaving. Have a good day at work, bud. Yeah, we'll talk to you
Scribe.
tonight. No, you're right. And I'm torn on this, whether they know it or don't.
Well, I think it's the greater problem isn't whether we know they're not going to change because they enjoy this kind of slow self-flagellation. But what the problem to me is the people that they tend to put in positions aren't ready to be in those positions then.
Yep.
Because they're just pandering by giving people jobs that aren't qualified for them. Well, if you're not qualified, you're going to screw up. And then you're also creating resentment within the company or place of wherever you're placing them, that the other people don't think they've earned that spot. They could be the most qualified person on earth, but it looks like you just gave them a position.
Well, the one that I was probably 15, 16 when this happened. I don't remember the exact date, but the one that finally made this click in my head, it was actually a woman. They really, really, really wanted female combat fighters, for female combat pilots specifically. And they were desperate to get the first woman F-14 pilot. And they got a woman killed because she wasn't ready to do it. And she ended up crashing her plane off the side of the boat she was trying to land on and killing herself and her reel.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Rio.
What?
You said Rio.
Rio.
RIO. Radar Intercept Officer, not real.
They call them reels.
Yeah, it's Rio.
They're keeping it real for real.
All right, I'm not an expert on this, and you come from a Navy family. I'll take your word on it. Fuck it.
Watch Top Gun, man.
That's where I'm getting it from. It's Rio.
I'll take your word for it.
Did I just say I was going to let this go? Never mind.
You didn't. You and I are going to fight again. No, I don't care. You could be right. Anyway, she got the second person in the plane killed. How about that? Because there's in an F-14, you have the pilot and their the officer behind them. She killed both of them because she fell off the plane. She wasn't qualified. And when they went through her record and everything, they're like, what dumbass put her in this plane? All of her evaluations were like, she is not ready to fly this plane. But they were so desperate to have a woman F-14 pilot that they put her in there. And they got her killed.
Yeah, you're seeing that with women firefighters, women cops. You know, there are people that just should not be doing the job that are getting the job. There's a dozen clips on YouTube of women cops getting their asses thrown around, and a male cop has to come in and save them, or a civilian. And that's how people get killed. It's sickening. They're doing it not just with race, but with gender and sometimes both. And it's creating a dangerous environment for people and putting other people, not just the people they're putting in that position, in danger, but the people around them then too.
Yeah, now when it comes to something like race, okay, if you have a black male firefighter, personally, I probably would prefer him. He's probably stronger than that honky. That's different. Well, seriously, come on, man. You ever see a buff black guy versus a buff white guy? Like, I want him to save me. Give me the Negro. Sorry, he's big and strong.
I don't care what color they are as long as they're dragging my ass out.
Right, but when it comes to color in that situation, yeah, you can. Okay, he can do the job. But if it's like, well, we're gonna put the woman in there, she can't carry my fat ass. I weigh 200 pounds. Let me see her lift 200 pounds and carry it before you let her do what I'm doing or do what she's supposed to do. And then when it comes to like you were talking about, Jack, if you're talking about like we need to just get a black guy in here for business, and he's not ready for that position. He may be eventually ready. He may be a great candidate for it, but you're shoving him into a job that he's not ready for because you want to have that diversity bullshit.
If he's not ready for the job, he's going to hurt the company. His career could be ruined. You're going to, at minimum, disincentivize him from trying real hard because he's going to feel overwhelmed because he's not qualified. If he's qualified, awesome. Who cares what color he is? But you can't just throw somebody in because of the color of their skin. You're only hurting your own place of employment, and everyone around him is going to have to pick up extra slack and hopefully get him up to speed as quick as possible.
Right. So, stop with the diversity bullshit. Meritocracy is the way to go, period.
Oh,
it is the only way to be. It is the only way to be actually equal. Make everybody do it by merit. Everybody. I actually saw a headline the other day. I didn't read the article, but it said that if a white person is colorblind, it's actually going to lead to death. I'm like, what the fuck are you even? That is such a stupid headline. I can't even read the article because I know it will make me punch my monitor. Look, growing up, that's what we were taught. Jack, you're as old as I am, so you were probably too. Color doesn't matter. That's what we were taught. And that's a good thing. Color doesn't matter.
Race relations were great.
How could that be wrong?
Right? Things were improving. Now they're going backward because people are obsessed with skin tone.
Not just backwards, like staggeringly backwards.
Yeah, we're going to be back to 40s and 50s here if we're not careful.
And that's the thing that with like Obama, he was horrible for race relations. He just absolutely was.
Well, he played up the divisions really well.
He did. Instead of being the great uniter, which he had the chance to be, you son of a bitch. You had the chance to be everything we actually did need in this country. To stop the bullshit backsliding that we were getting. All you had to say is, look, no, they're not attacking my ideas because I'm black. They're doing it because they've attacked these same ideas when white people have done. They don't like the idea. Let's stick with that. Stop this bullshit. It has nothing to do with my color. And instead, he's like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm black. Like, you motherfucker. He let all of his fucking subordinates go out there and say that shit.
Yep.
Oh. Have I heard of the term blackfishing? No. I don't know what that is, Bunny.
Is that like catfishing? Is that Rachel Dolezal shit?
I think we got to get better with our ads on this show. We get less donations after I do an ad. After I shill us. I gotta watch more Philly D so I can figure out how to do that.
Oh God, no, don't no. You know, you'll have people all over the internet angry at you.
What is it today? What is it today? And what?
Today
awesome.
Awesome.
Today and awesome. Brought to you by you guys because I'm the ranting monkey. Nobody else will give me money. I love that. Don't forget, guys, you can support the channel and the gentlemen who are on the panel here. They're awesome. Make sure you support them as well. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Share this shit. The more people that get to see us, the more money YouTube won't make because they don't give me money. To avoid giving them white man cooties, black people should get their own water fountains. God damn you, Terry. We're not that far from that.
I noticed that you didn't reference the amount of people in chat that were telling you that it was Rio, and I looked it up. Yeah, I was right. Radar Intercept Officer Rio.
I told you I was. I'm sorry. I did say that I was willing to go with you on that. I did.
I want to hear the words. Polly is right.
No, I'll do you one better, Polly. I was wrong. How about that?
Rio dances across the land.
Yes, yes, she does.
I thought it was sand. Is it
whatever?
land?
It's sand.
I don't care. As long as she's
none of us hear anything right on this show. Look, we're old men. Leave us alone, Dad.
Do you know why?
No.
I know that it's Rio.
Is this because we weren't listening?
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Listening to the movie, you mean?
In general.
No, it's because we watched it with the various directors' commentaries on it. Me and my ex-girlfriend. It was and we had the whatchamacallit on, the subtitles on, because you can't hear the movie because of the director's talking.
Oh, gotcha. Real quick. Lamented Guide says, get cool Streamlabs sound clips like Snoot then. I wish I could. For those of you out there, and I know this actually does hurt me. My internet sucks. I can't use Streamlabs and do the really cool stuff. I wish I could.
I was blown away when you were telling me that even satellite internet is no good. I would have thought it was like the most reliable. I was surprising.
The problem isn't reliability because my internet is actually pretty reliable. The problem is my upload speed is less than a meg. It's 0.7 actually. At its, excuse me. Ooh,
damn.
That came from nowhere. I apologize.
No, sometimes they sneak up on you. It's fine.
I try not to do that on stream. I know there's people who burp and fart all over the place. I'm like, please don't. That's nasty.
Please don't.
Excuse me. But yeah, with the speed I have, even when it's nice and steady, it won't upload. It's fucking horrible. Johnny Hellcat, thank you so much. This stream is brought to you by Fermentos, the drunk maker. The Fermento.
This stream is brought to you by Blue Coal.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Jack. Oh yeah, we've already talked about the Blue Coal ads. They way back in the day when they did radio plays like The Shadow and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
During World War II, Blue Coal was one of the common what's the word that I can't remember? Sponsors of the various radio shows. So as it would cut to commercial, they would talk about make sure you build your victory garden. Don't do any unnecessary travel because it's we need it for the war effort. And for God's sake, use Blue Coal.
Irate Prostate says SatNet is expensive. It actually wouldn't be much more expensive than I'm paying right now, but the satellite internet that I could get here is literally the same as the AT&T that I get. So yeah, until AT&T updates their shit, I'm screwed. You guys earned a new subscriber. Thank you, Victor. Make sure you subscribe to those gentlemen as well. Polydub, put your channel in the link.
All right, I will.
They do a great stream every Wednesday night around 10 p.m. ish Eastern time.
Central. It's close to 11.
Well, at least, yeah, you're honest.
That's good. You guys want to hear the story about how I nearly killed myself with chemicals tonight?
In just a moment. Make sure you're following them. No, I seriously do, but
Okay.
I'm pimping you out. Hang on.
All right.
Make sure you follow them on Twitter because you send it out when you start, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So
And,
make sure you follow them on Twitter so you know when they actually are going live. Go ahead. How'd you kill yourself with chemicals?
Almost. That's me at Polly_Dub. And I won't harass you all day long like Monkey.
I don't harass. I entertain, motherfucker.
No, you do. You're actually one of the people who's not filling my timeline with completely useless stuff. That's mostly the news services I subscribe to and follow. Honestly.
Oh, you and me both, man. Fuck CNN. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? The New York Post pisses me off sometimes because they'll like post one story a day, and then like on Saturdays, the guy running their account gets bored and he will just post everything. And I get like 400 stories in a row from them. Anyway, I'm sorry, Polly. You almost died tonight. I'm glad you're okay.
Well, it was possible. It was possible. So here's what happened, and just follow me on this story, and you'll see how I got there. It's not quite far. Laughed her ass off at me. Zelthor snickered a little bit in the background because they were there whilst this was happening. So I paint the Revolutionary War soldiers, the minis, the little 28 millimeter minis, right?
Yeah.
And didn't do a good job on some of them, so I wanted to strip the paint off. Now, when it comes to stripping paint off soldiers,
I know where this is going.
It's not you know how it is. There's a million nerds out there and they've been working at this stuff for decades, so they figured out how to do it. Now I don't know any of this stuff because I'm new to all of this painting and tabletop gaming and shit, right? I didn't realize that there was stuff called Simple Green. Ever heard of it?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, they're commonly available at Walmart, different automotive shops and shit. It's biodegradable solvent, basically, you know. So I watched a couple of videos, and thank God for the nerds, because they've put these chemicals head to head: isopropyl alcohol, gasoline, paint thinner, Simple Green, and one by Castrol, you know, like Castrol oil and motor products and shit, called Super Clean, and it's purple, or Purple Drank as it's known amongst the nerds. So it's Purple Drank and Simple Green are the two best ones. Head to head, Super Clean came out to be the better one. So I look around to find it. Not every automotive store around me carries it. Walmart didn't have it. So I ended up finding it, finally got it tonight. So what do? Well, I take a little paper, you know, the bathroom cups, Dixie cups, or whatever you want to call them. They've got a little bit of wax on them. You know, the ones, little mini
Dixie cups.
Yeah. So I take one of those and I just, you know, you just pour enough in it to cover your little 28 mil mini because they're real small. And I plop the guy in there and it's like, let it soak for 24 hours. And then you come and you brush it off with a soft toothbrush and then there, boom, paint gone. So that's what I did. So I walk away for about 10 minutes and I come back and holy shit, it had eaten right through the paper Dixie cup. But luckily I was smart enough to guess that this might happen. So I put it in a bowl. You know, so it was like, yeah, it was leaking out a little. The cup hadn't completely dissolved yet. So here's my brilliant idea. I don't want to waste a cup because I'm a bachelor. I have, you know, 8 plates, 4 lunch dishes, the smaller ones. And you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I don't got dishes to waste. So it says use an old glass. Well, I ain't got none, you know, at least none that I'm willing to waste to put a bunch of chemical solvents in, you know? So I'm like, what else am I going to use? Well, there was an empty soda can sitting right in front of me. So I got pretty Boy Scout about it. I took out a pair of scissors and I cut the top off the can. And then I took a little bit of fine grit sandpaper and I smoothed off the edge. So I went and cut myself like a moron and then poured the chemical in there, the Super Clean Castrol in there, and plunked the little guy in there. And I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm so smart, you know? And I walked away. And I come back about an hour later and I'm like, oh, it's fizzing.
Oh.
And I thought it was the solvent interacting with the not enamel paint, acrylic paint, making it flake off. And I'm talking to Zelda, and Zelda was like, did it do that in the videos? Did it fizz? I'm like, I don't know, not like this. And I hold it up to my ear and it's like, psst, and I was cracking jokes. It's like, oh, it's appropriate. It's fizzing like a soda and it's in a soda can. I started thinking, hey, you think it might be interacting with the can?
Yeah, you think?
You think?
And I'm like, gee, I don't know. Maybe it is. Let me see if it smells funny. And I'm like,
fun.
Oh, wow, that's not good. And so I didn't take the biggest whiff, but I didn't do what you're supposed to do, like from chemistry class in high school, kind of waft it in front of your nose. You know, I just
you sniffed a chemical reaction.
There was no evidence that there was a chemical reaction as of yet. Okay.
Hey, Polly, does it smell like mustard gas to you?
So I go off to my computer. What are you going to do? you're going to look it up, right? Is this stuff going to interact with various things? In this case, aluminum, right? Oh, fuck yeah, it interacts with aluminum. It's like, do not allow this product to come in contact with anything containing aluminum or made out of aluminum because it's extremely alkaline, which will interact very strongly with anything aluminum. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I better get it out of that.
Polly won't be on the show tomorrow when he's arrested for a terrorist threat for making bombs in his classroom.
This my weapons of mass destruction lab, which used to be my project room.
Dear Lord.
I pour and I'm saying this, I'm like, well, what else am I going to put it in? And Far, being the smart ass that she is, goes, well, don't you have like a jar or something? And I'm like, mason jars. Of course, I've got mason jars. She breaks into laughter, finding this endlessly entertaining that I didn't think of that first. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay.
Let me tell you a little story about one of my best friends. First of all, this will roundabout apply to you.
Okay.
He wouldn't do dishes. What he would do is go to the Goodwill, usually dragging me along, on, I think it was Wednesdays, when they had all the housewares on sale. And he would buy literally an entire box full of plates, bowls, cups, whatever he needed.
Right.
An entire box full, 10 cents each. So he'd spend like $5. So then he'd come over to my house, wash them in my dishwasher, hang out for a few hours, then go home. And then he'd eat off them and throw them away.
Nice. Real quick, thank you, Lamented Guide. Did you save the figurine?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's in there soaking in the mason jar right now, and the paint seems to be flaking off quite nicely.
No, this applies because he would throw away perfectly good dishes because he used them once.
Right.
What I learned from that is that Goodwill has cups for 10 cents.
Polly.
Buy a fucking cup.
Remember, I'm the guy that got away with not washing dishes for 6 months straight because somebody had a fuck ton of paper plates, bowls, plastic utensils left over from a wedding, and you're goddamn right I took them.
Yes, I have a lot of that stuff too. I eat off of only paper plates because I'm poor and lazy.
Well,
I have
lazy,
two,
but you know.
Two real plates. That's it. I have 2 of everything. 2 cups, 2 bowls, 2 plates, 2 sets of silverware. That's it. If you are coming over to my house and bringing a friend, you better be bringing some dishes.
Oh my God. Polly, this is wonderful. I have to share this.
Well, for the end of the story, just so you know, I poured the whole soda can and Bigger CK Duo.
Yeah, look who sent that out.
Trump has no way of countering the argument that he broke the law, so he just makes ignorant stuff up, kind of like how all the Trump supporters can counter the arguments. Brian, so they post this meme.
He's upset about that meme. Everybody send that meme to the Krasensteins. I mean, no, don't, because that would be that's targeted harassment.
It is. Yeah, it's homophobic and targeted harassment. Yeah,
they're not actually gay. They're really happy. They're not homosexual gay. They're the ambiguously gay duo, but there's no actual evidence that they are homosexual. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. They're ambiguous. But guys, if you how can I put this so I can say it without saying it? Ed obviously likes this, and if you think that he would enjoy it, you could send it to him if you wanted to. Okay, so finish the end of the story.
Oh, well, when I take the soda, so I find a mason jar rather quickly because I got a whole bunch of them, right? And I pour all of the stuff in there. You should have seen the bottom of that aluminum can. It wouldn't have lasted the night. It was all chewed away, and
there was a weird smell of burnt ozone in the air. Yeah. And the paint on the walls was coming off.
And I think it was Random American who asked, and what did the label say? Well, okay, here's the thing. After I had done the change, I go and sit back down in front of my computer and I'm looking at the information and it says, yeah, it even says on the label, don't do this. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. So I get up and I go read the label. Sure enough, it says it right on the label.
Yeah.
And Ford's like, you didn't read it? And I'm like, no, instructions are for cowards and cheaters.
I don't feel that's necessarily true.
Yeah,
No,
somehow I
true.
think instructions might apply in certain circumstances, Polly.
Cool.
You're not assembling a bookshelf.
That was Farr's call. She's like, yeah, when it's involving really strong caustic or acidic or base chemicals, yeah, you probably should read the fucking instructions.
You absolutely should read the instructions before you kill
yourself.
yourself.
Is the reason we have global warming. Yeah, that's it.
You opened a window to air the place out.
Yeah, I did that. Sure. It's fine. It's fine. Everything to do. See, look, I'll tell you what I told Far.
You
don't read the instructions.
To do
it. You go ahead, and if something goes wrong, you find out what it is, and then you change your plan accordingly. What?
I'm just saying, if you get severe brain damage, I'm gonna come over to the hospital and parade you around the local mall.
And keep in mind, this is like right next to the desk that has all the gunpowder on it for reloading.
Oh yeah, that's
dear
right.
Lord.
What? There were no sparks or electric shocks or anything, and the table's grounded. And I've taken all the safety precautions.
I don't think you did. Your story tells us otherwise.
Yes, I think by safety precautions you mean none.
Do I ever buy anything from IKEA? Since you say instructions are for cowards. No, it's obvious how to put them. Like Jack said, it's a bookshelf. Yeah, I've put bookshelves together. You don't follow the instructions. You start screwing shit together until it looks right. It's fine.
Yeah, you can wing it with a bookshelf. Chemicals is a whole other ballgame.
Are there nearby trees and grass dying? Yeah, if I wake up and, the inside of my nose is burning and all my hair is falling out, I'll know I've really done something bad.
Hallucinating and...
The other story I wanted to talk about before we wrap up. Thank you, Blind Press. You're lucky you didn't LaForge yourself. LOL. Oh, you're lucky you didn't blind yourself.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
You know they don't have those eye things yet, right?
The visors?
Yeah.
No, but have you know what? It's going to bring up a little Trek moment. I know we're not on the Trek stream, but everybody here knows who Geordi is and he's blind. I would have to imagine that it frustrates blind people that Geordi is constantly referred to throughout TNG and the movies and stuff as being a blind man. It's like, okay, he's kind of blind, but he has like the entire electromagnetic spectrum for vision. It's kind of insulting, no?
Oh, we still
no, because he's still blind.
Yeah, because without the visor, he's blind, right?
Blind as a bat, yeah.
Well, okay, which raises the second question. He's forever getting this visor knocked off. I mean, even old ladies have that fucking string that they attach to their glasses so they can wear it around their neck. What, this guy has never heard of a fucking a stretchy cord?
Most of the time, it gets taken off of him when he gets caught.
Well, yeah, he'll get grabbed and get knocked and he'll get thrown off, but that's the whole point. Then he's got to wander around and pat on the ground to find the thing. If he just had it on a string, it couldn't be any further than around his neck.
Okay, I'm going to say what is largely unaccepted in Trek communities. Geordi's kind of a dick.
Oh, he's a huge... No, I completely agree. Geordi is a dick. He's condescending. He's arrogant. He's really harsh to those under his command. It's awful.
He's an engineer. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Engineers are dicks.
Exactly. And that's why he doesn't wear anything to hold that thing on.
Montgomery Scott encouraged loyalty from those beneath him. They loved that man.
Everybody loves Geordi on the show.
No, everybody tolerates Geordi. Didn't you notice that the only person who's his friend is the robot without emotions? Yeah, because that's the only one that can handle him.
He's an engineer. What do you expect?
They're not good.
I'm not being mean to I'm not being mean to engineers out there, but if you're an engineer, you're kind of a dick.
We're not good with the customers. So I get the information from the engineers and give it to the customers. And if the customers make changes, that's an Office Space joke, you guys. Come on.
I get you. Cryptic, thank you. Hey, I resent that. Cryptic, I love you. She's kind of a dick. No. No, engineers tend to be dicks. If you have to, okay. Because they insist this is going to work, and then you do it, and like something's not working. Then it's you. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Engineers are just kind of dicks. because they think they're smarter than everyone else, which isn't bad. I'm just saying.
Well,
it's okay.
Just because you're right doesn't mean you should be mean about it.
Right. Be nice.
So, I mean, Blind Press said, no, it's not like insulting or whatever, or just annoying, whatever, because he's still blind without the visor. Hey, that's her call. She would know. I don't know. I mean, very early in the series, Riker walks in and there's Data and Geordi, and Data's trying to paint. And he's like, what are you trying to do? It's like, we're investigating to see if Data can be like purely creative, not just copy something he sees because it's an android and they're curious. And it's like, okay. He goes, well, remember to keep notes. It might be of interest to historians in the future. And they say to Riker, really? And he goes, sure. A blind man teaching a robot how to paint? That's got to be worth a page in someone's book. And I'm like, yeah, but he's not blind. He can see everything he's doing. As a matter of fact, he can see the infrared and the radio signals and every other fucking thing going on in the room.
Ryan Walters brings up a good question. Hey, Polly, were you doing this painting thing anywhere near Notre Dame? Asking for the French.
Jeez, one little mistake with something I bought from an automotive store, and everybody thinks that I'm, a crazy arsonist.
Are you going to take flight lessons anytime soon?
By the way, guys, this is not a how-to. So make sure that's. I don't want to hear. Yeah, they listened to the Ranting Monkey show and then burned down their house
using Simple Green and soda cans. It was.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that nobody brought that up. And interestingly, in all of the reviews that I saw where people were testing Purple Drank or Simple Green, they're using like really thin plastic cups, not the hard plastic that these minis are made out of. Because that's the whole point. Can it strip the paint off, but leave the plastic underneath completely unaffected? Supposedly it can. I'll let you know tomorrow. But
you know what they weren't using in those? Aluminum cans.
Yeah, but they didn't tell me why. If they had said don't use soda cans, I would have said okay.
Well, maybe they expect you to read that label thing.
Well, that's where they were wrong. Pretty assumptive, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know what happens when you make assumptions? You make an ass out of you and me.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Monkey, we got way off topic again.
No, we're good. We're good.
You wanted to bring something else up?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember what.
Oh.
You said one more story before we close it out?
Yeah, I just don't remember what.
Y'all sorry, Monkey, go ahead.
I was scrolling through Twitter, which made me remember it, but I've been scrolling through again and I don't see it. What were you saying?
I hear styrofoam and gasoline makes napalm if you leave it long enough. I was just about to give you the actual recipe. That's sort of right.
We do not give the actual recipe.
it's you're close. Let's just leave it at that. You're close.
Cryptic, thank you. Engineers are dicks, though. Well, yeah. That's not to say they're the only dicks. I'm kind of a dick. Okay, I'm a dick a lot, especially on Twitter. If you read me on Twitter, I'm a dick. I just sent the Krasensteins both that picture. I didn't even care what they said. I just found one of their posts and put it on there.
You should have mirror imaged it and been like, it's different.
Pinkala is absolutely right. The Star Trek stream with Blind Press and me and the One Ton Hammer and Skeptalk on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear all kinds of crap like that, except it goes on for an hour. It's honestly not. It's a lot of fun. It's us just going episode by episode. Blind does a really, really good job hosting. It's a lot of fun.
I'm not encouraging harassment, but if you have a Twitter account and you'd like to go like that, I would love you for it. I'm just saying.
Like the Krasen. Oh.
Just the one. Don't do the other one.
I'm down.
I'm working on my plan to make one of them hate the other because they think they're the ugly one.
Oh, fuck. I'm totally willing to help with this. That was a great idea. Remember, go in the positive, not in the negative, right?
Indeed, right. You just build up the one and the other one's like, why do you hate me? That is so petty and childish. I don't care.
No, that's just solid comedy. There's nothing petty about it.
Holy smokes.
What's up?
I hope she's old enough to show this.
Oh my.
I muted myself instead of sharing. There we go. Happy Easter, y'all. She's an Easter worshiper.
Right?
I finally
dressed
found
up as the Easter god.
Yeah, that's the Easter worshiper. Oh wow, yeah, nice.
It's a very nice.
I have to retweet that. Look, and Easter worship. Too soon? Oh man, now I'm a furry. She didn't have on a whole fur suit, so you're okay. You're okay. You're a dabbler in the furries. You're a furry dabbler.
Do you want a preview of tomorrow's thumbnail?
Yes, please. Let's show the people what they can see on the video.
Okay.
Void Horizons. That's my religion now. I haven't talked to the audience much tonight. How you guys doing, man? While we're waiting for Polly to get this up, takes Polly a while to get it up. There we go. Oh, nice. There's not as much skin in this one, but I do like that.
I didn't go Salacious. It's another David Finch because he's awesome. And Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat is one of my favorite X-Men for sure. So I didn't want to, I really like the background, so I didn't want to mess with it too much. And I just really liked the way he did her in her old school costume. But I did make her arm. You see, it comes out and it interacts. It makes it look more interactive, you see.
I really like the way he did her in her old school costume. You literally just said that.
And that's why he was able. That's why he was able to get it up, guys.
Yeah, and you know what the other thing is? It gets even worse than that because Kitty, depending on when she's being Catherine Pryde, depending on when you're showing her, she's somewhere between 16 and 25. Sometimes she's shown as like her teenage self, and this is David Finch drawing her as her teenage self. Obviously, this isn't her as a fully grown adult yet. So yeah, wow. Jack made it really sick. Well done, buddy.
You're the one that said
it.
I know you're the one who misinterpreted it, and this is also the guy who brought up Batman's pederasty on our show. Jack's full of sick ideas. It's terrible.
I would point out that you were proven to have said that by one of the viewers.
Yeah, it's literally
somebody salaciously misinterpreted and misunderstood the available evidence. I would agree with that.
I feel like you're wrong there, Polly.
You're still mad about the real Rio thing.
No, I admitted my fault, and you're here. You actually said that, and you're like, you're taking it wrong, Polly. I mean, we're just going by what you said.
We weren't disagreeing. We were just, saying this is what was said.
Confession: haven't seen the X-Men films. That's all right. You're not missing a whole lot without seeing them.
There's only a few of them that are really good.
What was your favorite one?
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of talk about the MCU basically dying. A lot of people are like, I'm not going to go see any of these movies. Blah, blah, blah. Marvel should have the rights back to X-Men. They just bought out Fox. What do you think the X-Men in the MCU could reinvigorate the franchise?
The franchise of the X-Men or the MCU?
Of the MCU. Well, both actually, because I mean, God, that Phoenix movie looks bad.
No, it really does. It really does. I think that they've got some executive problems over there. It's like, how do your films seem to have the same vibe about them over and over again? And you end up just like, even though you're going with different directors, they only end up being marginally different. It seems like most of the creative direction is coming from executives,
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get that consistency from film to film.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm worried about anything in Marvel's hands now after the whole Captain Marvel thing and Kevin Feige going. It's like, yes, it's a women's and social justice and diversity. And it's like, oh, fuck. Like it's, I'm kind of being black-pilled on it. It's like, well, we had a good run of 21, 22 films that were, introduce superheroes to the world at large. And, you can't keep it up forever.
I think they could, especially with, look, the Avengers were never my favorite anyway. The characters, especially in the comics, they didn't really appeal to me. Thor is like boring as fuck. Captain America, there's something to it, but I need a little bit bigger stuff. And when you bring in the the B team as your main team, and like, I really don't care. They made it work for me in the movies. They made Iron Man exciting for me, and Thor exciting for me, except for Dark World. They brought those to life in a way that actually made them exciting for me. And I just don't. Like the others, as the B team comes in, I'm just like, I don't care about these characters at all.
Huh.
So I feel like the X-Men might be a way to reinvigorate them. No, I'm actually not a Wolverine guy. I'm not a fan of the X-Men. But the X-Men, when it comes to comics, they were good sellers, really good sellers. There's a lot of really good stories they could pull from and actually do right that Fox just fucked up. They fucked up Phoenix twice now. Twice now. Last Stand was so bad, they don't even acknowledge it in the movies.
Yeah.
It's just like it never happened.
I don't know. There are kind of standouts. I liked First Class. I really dig McAvoy as
First Class wasn't bad, actually.
Yeah, as Professor Xavier, kind of like, and I find it interesting that the two X-Men films that I liked were both period films, like throwbacks to an earlier era. That and forgot the name of it. Where Wolverine goes back to the 1970s to kill Mystique. I'm sorry?
Days of Future Past.
Thank you. Days of Future Past, which was a much more complex storyline in the comics, but okay, the core idea is still there. It was fairly well adapted as hardcore, story changing adaptations go. It was pretty cool. That's probably my favorite X-Men film, Days of Future Past, and then First Class next.
No one asked, don't they have the rights back to the Fantastic Four? They should. And that's another one that they could, that I was never a huge fan of in the comics, but with the way they've done the movies and stuff, I feel like they could make that a good franchise for them to keep the MCU going. And
Fantastic Four as a concept is a little dated because it's kind of like Leave It to Beaver and superheroes. But what they could do is make it more of a younger audience film, aim it at like teenagers.
Well, you could have, Reed Richards done right, where he's more of a poly figure, and keep the rest of them, or maybe I almost said euthanize, young in the other three to make them a little more. They tried to do that in the first Fantastic Four movie, but they got Reed so bad it really pissed me off. He's this awkward, geeky, self-conscious nerd. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. See, they need to keep the family structure, but aim it at a younger demographic than they have with the other MCU films. And then they can bring in new characters that way. They can still have cool adventures, but it's not something that's going to play well to modern American adults as much. But younger people like that kind of structuring, the family films.
I think they could. I think X-Men and having those franchises back, I think they could actually make the MCU, because we know the MCU as it exists is ending with Endgame.
Yeah,
it just is. I know there's another Spider-Man movie and some other things on the way, Black Panther 2 and that kind of stuff. But this was always my problem with and I know this might be offensive to comic people, but like Buffy, I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was every season they would have the meta arc, the one that ties it all together. The bad guy she has to beat at the end, and they got to the point where she actually fought and killed a god. And like, what do you do the next season that's going to feel even close to that? And that's how I feel with Thanos. This is a guy who, with the snap of his fingers, killed half the universe. How do you make the next movie exciting after that?
Well, see, he needed the cosmic MacGuffin to do that. So
sure, but
there's a lot of cool villains that they can build off of. Like you've got Kang the Conqueror, Annihilus.
They've never had an opportunity. Well, Doctor Doom goes along with the rights to Fantastic Four, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the way that CGI brings Batman's armor in Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, brings his armor to life. I mean, that's all CGI. It's not actual armor. And then Iron Man's armor and so forth. It can be done extremely convincingly. I want to see that applied to Doctor Doom. I mean, he's my favorite villain of all time, and I want to see him done right and cool and interesting and villainous. He's Victor Von Doom in all the ways that we knew him to be. He's a leader of a country with his backstory and everything. It'd be fantastic.
See, I think that's what it could reinvigorate the MCU if they actually take advantage of those franchises. But we'll see. When Captain Marvel 2 comes out, it's just going to be, I don't care. Give me something I care about, Marvel, and then I'll come watch. Galactus. Yeah, I know there's bigger villains out there, but it just seems, I mean, they built this up so well. And I don't care what anybody else says. Yeah, some of those movies weren't the greatest, but they built these characters up so well to where I actually care about them. I want to see what happens. I can't remember the last time I was excited to go to a movie. Actually, yes, I can. It was Infinity War. But I don't care about the characters that I think are going to be left. Those ones, the ones that they've just slipped in towards the end here, I don't care about them. I really don't.
Yeah, it feels like they're moving the primaries away because like they're moving a couple of them to the Disney streaming channel.
Yeah,
they're gonna have Vision and Scarlet Witch on their own show. They're gonna have Winter Soldier and Falcon, and there was another one. Oh, Hawkeye, and they're bringing in Kate Bishop.
Yay!
Yeah, girl Hawkeye. Yay! So,
yeah, I really do. Like I said, I'm actually not an X-Men fan, but I would love to see it done right.
Yeah,
they cut so many corners in that whole series. And Polly, I'm with you. There are some good movies in there, but they cut so many corners to get, especially Phoenix is my favorite comic story of all time. The Dark Phoenix saga. How can you fuck it up twice? I haven't even seen the movie and I can tell they fucked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, well, you didn't include a lot of the X-Men. And so they do. And you end up seeing stuff like Psylocke's massive contribution to the film she was in. Why did you even have her in there? What did she have? 4 lines in the whole film?
I'm maintaining that X-Men needs to be a TV series rather than a film series.
It could be a great one because there's so many characters, man.
Yeah, and the story arcs they're trying to use for the movies are better as soap opera elements in a TV series. If they took a season to do the Dark Phoenix saga, that would be really cool.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Budget. Like,
oh man, I'm gonna have to sign off of online until I get to see Endgame. I mean, you got Ethan Van Sciver's got that. Yeah, the spoilers and shit. Ethan Van Sciver's got a stream or a video that just went up 22 minutes ago. Does Brie Larson ruin Avengers Endgame? And the thumbnail says "totally spoiled!" ! And it's like, if it's going to be ruined, I want it ruined for me when I pay my $15 to see the film. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want.
Yeah,
I just,
I've mentioned before, I don't care about spoilers. If I see them, I see them, but I'm not going to be like seeking them out. I prefer if I don't see them.
Infinity War was such a great film.
So
good.
Like
who the fuck walks? I mean, I know I've said it before, but like, you don't walk out of a Marvel superhero film. You know what I mean? Or any superhero film, right? That's on that level. People in like long underwear running around fighting each other, like, in space. And everyone left going, wow, man, that was really deep.
I left watching that movie and I was like, I'm not the biggest Avengers fan, but I was like, God damn, that was awesome. Just fucking awesome.
Yeah. See, they can do stuff like that. They can make us care about even third string characters, but with some of the stuff they're announcing, it really worries me that we're not going to see stuff like this again.
What you guys do comic book curation tonight?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've never been on your show.
Yeah,
I bring
right.
you guys on my show all the time. You guys, I've never even got an invite.
No, that's not true. We said we'll do we said repeatedly we'll do a special edition because we can't do it because Wednesday is your night to do.
Yeah, but I've never got a link, man.
Well, usually we start like 10 minutes, 20 minutes before your show ends, around there.
I'm inviting myself on your show tonight.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Is what I'm trying to do.
All right. You're very subtle. It was.
I am.
Okay.
I almost like your shilling.
Hey, I drop it and people don't even know what happened. It's I got to be more upfront. They don't even know I'm talking about a channel.
No, in all honesty, because we have talked about it before, and I don't do the Wednesday streams anymore. So I know you guys start before we end, but if you'd ever like me, I would come in a little bit late, but I'd be happy to join you. So keep that in mind.
You don't do the Wednesdays. Oh, you mean the gaming streams?
Yeah, we don't do the Wednesday gaming streams anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it easier. I mean, I was talking to Scribe by DMs, and we're gonna kind of focused in on like a Sunday night one-off, so we can have Scribe on. You know,
gotcha.
yeah, and we're totally okay with one-offs, man. It's not a problem. But yeah, it's if you want to show up afterwards and do that, and you're bringing a comic to pitch, that's totally cool.
But damn, I got to go through my comic box.
No, not necessarily. If you can remember a particular story, we'll find the digital edition for you. You just got to let us know what happened in it. And we got 3 heavy-duty nerds. We'll find out which one it was pretty quick.
I don't remember. See, I remember part of it, but I don't remember everything. It's been a while since I read it, and it's actually one of my favorite Spider-Man stories. But yeah, so like I said, it doesn't have to be tonight. If you'd like it next week or whatever, let me know, and I would love to be on your show.
Cool. No, we'd be happy to have you for sure.
Of course.
When does Infinity War come out?
Endgame?
Yes. Sorry.
26th.
The 26th. Okay.
Yeah, Friday.
Well, I'll be seeing it this Sunday then. Because I usually go to the late show on Sundays because I talk in the theater a lot.
Oh.
Drunkenly. So.
I talk before the movie, and I'm really loud, and Lady of the Monkey's like, shh. But the people around me laugh, so I'm like, shut up, I'm entertaining. I'm me at the movie theater. But once the movie starts, I'm quiet as fuck. The only time I've talked in a movie was when MJ goes, by the way, my name's MJ. I was like, bullshit. And I actually said that out loud. I'm like, whoops. Yeah. But yeah, guys, we're going to wind this down because I've been at it for a while, and I'm going to go try to sleep again. Hopefully it goes more than 3 hours this time. Fuck me. Chat, seriously, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for showing up day after day, night after night, no matter what fucking time we start this. You guys are awesome, and I love you. And thank you for the donations. That is so generous of you. And for supporting these gentlemen, which you should be doing. Hint, hint, do it. Polly, anything you'd like to show?
Yes. A little show that you might have heard of. We were just kind of talking about it a little bit. Comic book curation, which is over on my channel. There's a link in the chat where Jack, Inquisitor, myself, and soon Monkey we talk about comic books, pop culture, and all the fun fuckery that goes on around it, including people getting sued and people suing back and everyone accusing everyone of being a racist. It's just comics have gone to hell, and we have a fun time commenting on all of it. So by all means, check it out every Wednesday at roughly 10 p.m. Eastern.
Closer to 11.
Closer to 11 sometimes.
Most times.
I said roughly.
Roughly. Jack, anything you'd like to show?
What Polly just said.
Fair enough. And don't forget to follow these gentlemen on Twitter. I don't know if I have your Twitter handles down below.
It's not hard to find. I've never looked on Twitter to see if there's another Polly dub. I would imagine so. That's how I ended up picking Polly_dub.
Oh no, I don't have your Twitters on there. I'll have to get those in there. Yeah, but check them out on Twitter so you know when exactly it starts. And let's see, tonight is my night. 9 p.m. Eastern time, Lords of the Night, right here on this channel, where we will talk about what's ever in the news. Yay! Cool. Anyway, Chad, thanks for showing up. Jack, Polly, Thank you guys for joining me again. I really do enjoy these conversations. Everybody, we will see you next time. Have a great day.
Have a good night, everybody.
Jack, say bye.
I did. I was talking over Polly.
I didn't hear you, though.
Bye, everyone.
There we go.